Okay, so welcome to the first session of the Aotearoa version of Icewind Dale, a Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Ooh.
I'm very excited for this. I know this is an excellent campaign, so I hope you'll enjoy it. And once again, thank you for everybody for being part of this campaign. As I've said more than once, this is going and it will directly support wages of teachers over there, which is our biggest expense, followed by food for the children, followed by pencils and books and all that other good thing. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. Okay, so Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Aotearoa, the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop-off in caravans coming from the south and travel between the settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaidens with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers such as yourselves, 10 Town is a place to test one's mettle, and, in the spirits of heroes who've come before, leaves one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. Our adventure begins. Oops. I'll do over on this one. Our focus turns to the town of Brinshander. And you'll see there's a little marker right here, which shows you exactly where you are. So our focus turns to the town of Brinshander, a walled town perched atop a lonely wind-lashed hill. Bright lanterns suspended over narrow streets twist in the wind and add flecks of colour to this town's otherwise drab surrounding. There is no safer place in Icewind Dale to spend coin or spend the night. The wall that surrounds Brinshander are some 30 feet tall, and some patrols are patrolling along the wall. The gates are closed when it is dark outside, which is to say, more often than not. Now the gates are mercilessly left open to let in a high elf. A strange sight for sure to see such a noble creature in these wastelands. There is one thing you are promised in Icewind Dale. No one cares about your past. The high elf doesn't so much walk into Brinshander, but stumbles into town. Now, a white dragonborn, decked to head and toe in winter furs, with lizard-like eyes, with her eyes visible, and flanked by a dwarf as well, asks the elves what her name is. She mutters, Shajre Silverbirth. The dragonborn replies, "Good luck to you, miss. My name is there too." The high elf looks up from her exhaustion and sees about 1,000 people all huddled together in the town square. No one is saying a word. The gates that protect Brinshander begin to close before one guard hollers, "Hold the gate!" The gate remains just open enough for 2 more figures to come. One is a tall half-orc draped in animal furs. He looks around, perplexed, seemingly unfamiliar with Brinshander. "What's your name, friend?" is a dragonborn. The half-orc mutters, "Malamak." "Can you spell that for me?" No, says the half-orc and heads to the town square. The second figure that snuck in before the gate is closed is much shorter, wearing a wolf pelt to keep warm. The figure is a deep gnome, or a Shrivnedlin, a race normally shunned by the world. But once again, in Icewind Dale, no one cares who you are or what your past might be. The black dragonborn takes a deep breath and exhales, his breath forming a cloud in the wind. What's your name, gnome? Twitch! Well, I can spell that at least. Leaning against a house on the edge of the square is another figure. He's seen all of this before, but he knows he must be present for what's to happen. He gives and receives nods as people around the square acknowledge his presence. His name is already in the barrel. The silver dragonborn puts all the names he has collected into a large barrel in the center of the town square. One piece of paper per person. Finally, he writes his own name down on a piece of paper and drops it in. The leader of the town, or speaker of the town as they're known, gets everybody's attention. It's like 1,000 odd people. Her name is Duvessa Shane. Just 1 second. So this is Duvessa Shane. This is what she looks like. Her name is Duvessa Shane. Though young, she's earned the respect of the town. Oh, real! She begins and talks to the sky. We do not why you curse us with this endless winter. We can only assume that you crave our deaths. To appease you, as we do every new moon, we will sacrifice one of our own in the hope you will end this endless winter. She reaches into the barrel and pulls out a name. Cray Sagor! A woman screams, no, no, not Cray! Cray Sagor hugs his wife, who hugs his wife and kids, who all start to wail. But not Cray. Cray is stoic. He tears himself away from family and makes his way to the edge of the crowd. A group of men grab him. Are they guards? Citizens? It's hard to tell. They drag Cray outside of town as the rest of the crowd follows silently, save for his screaming wife and kids. 500 or so feet out of town, they strip Cray naked and tie him to a pole. The crowd silently walks back. Some kite sold leads Cray's family back to town. Come morning, the pole will be empty. The gnomes, the high elf, the half-orc, the dragonborn, and the dwarf all make their way to the North Look, the local tavern. The place is unusually busy. Perhaps people are celebrating that their names are not in the barrel. Now this eclectic group of 6 are forced to share a table. Now in the relative warmth of the inn, though no place is truly warm, in Icewind Dales, the group removes their winter hoods. Now, what I would like to do, as we all sit around this table, we'll start with Mr. Scar. Can you explain to us what Mr. Scar looks like, please?
Scar looks like he's covered in armor. I can't remember what kind of armor he's got. Hang on, let me have a look. 6'2". A few war wounds on him. Although he wears furs, he doesn't have a lot of furs. Surprisingly little for how cold it is around here. But nonetheless, it doesn't seem to faze him. The cold, that is. And he wears he has some like weird bluish war paint on.
Nice.
That's better.
Cool. And I will point out that Cal Xfel and Scar, you kind of work together for the soldier type duties over here. So let's switch across to Cal Xfel, and you can explain to us what Cal looks like, please.
So, there I am, a typical dwarf, you might say. My head as bald as a cue ball. A wonderful beard that one might hide an axe in. Indeed, there probably is an axe hidden in there. And I have long been a guard in these northern lands, and this is most unusual.
Nice. Tarvin. What does Tarvin look like?
Tarvin has very dark skin and very long white hair. He has a hood over his head, and his face looks very dark underneath the hood, and you can't quite make out his features. He's very quiet, as a man of few words. Underneath his hood, of course, you'll find a set of pointy ears, which give away his racial background, as among other things. He stays quiet and watches.
Malamak Lockman.
He's a giant of a man, or at least you'd think he was, except until you see his features bearing the orcish resemblance. 6'6", a greyish green sort of complexion, brown eyes, but small brown eyes peeking out behind heavy set forehead. He is also bald, but there's scars on his face, and he looks like he's been in his element. He's covered in some furs that have been stitched together in an abnormal fashion. They appear to be sort of haphazardly sewn together, and yet he seems perfectly warm. He's barefoot as well. Even outside, he's come in barefooted.
Nice. And finally, Sharjay Silverbirth.
Okay, so I've been doing some practicing of the name, and I think it's Shajire is her name.
Shajire. Okay.
Yeah, and so the character that I sent you is tall, who about 5'10", and has long dark hair, elf-like face with the ears, and is wearing I'm trying to describe it, sort of practical leather pants and a hood. It's a little leather pocket satchel, and carries a book in the satchel all the time. And has druidic tattoos on her face.
Nice.
That's a pretty accurate description.
Perfect. And can you say your name once again, please? Shajire?
Yeah, I think it's Shajire. Yeah.
Okay, well, it can be what you like. So if you want to be Shajire, it can be.
Sorry. It's a little bit mouthful.
Well, that's owls for you. So, Sajire, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that'll do. Yeah.
You, the rest of you, you look okay despite, everybody's got at least a little bit of frostbite someplace on them. The vast majority of people do. But Shajaya looks absolutely exhausted. She's barely keeping her eyes open at the table. So, I'll give you the opportunity now. If anybody wants to say anything, they can.
Oh, sorry, I'm just slightly off. So Scar and Cal work together, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. On the town guard as such.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that woman who, gosh, what was her name? Who?
Teresa Shane.
Yeah.
Devesa.
Yeah, so Cal and I.
Yep, you know her well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. I'll go grab some ale for everyone at the table. Who wants ale?
Everyone.
Yes.
All right. What's the local? Does he know what the local brew is?
is some very, very stale beer is the best you could have. What is the local delicacy here is something called honey mead, which is thoroughly delicious. It's what everybody wants, but now you're being served with this just piss poor, very weak beer is the only option you have.
Awesome.
There used to be a town, I'll show you on the map, down here called Goodmead, which is famous for exporting this fantastic honey mead across to all of the 10 towns. But in recent times, it has stopped. So your options are stale ale, and that's about it.
Scar, Scar will grab some, head up to the bar and do some ordering. What am I buying? 4 ales and milk for Scar. I'll have ox milk, or whatever the local milk is.
The local milk is varied. Sometimes it comes from cows, sometimes it comes from elk, sometimes it comes from you don't want to ask. But there is milk
Elk.
available for Scar if you want it. Okay, so
Alright.
the bucket, g'day Scar, so the usual milk for yourself, is it?
You bet, yeah.
Alright.
And 4 of your ales, if you can still call it that.
Yeah, well, you know, that honey mead, it's dried up. We'll do what we can. Anyway, we'll set you back a silver, 1 silver for all of that, and good luck to your friend.
I toss him a silver and head back to the table with mead and milk for himself.
Nice.
Passing one of the tankards to Shajaya, and I'm saying, it looks like you need this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what are we all doing here then?
You put my name into a big bucket, and the person who was drawn out was going to be left out there in the open to die.
I don't like that. We should probably do something about it.
It's been happening for a good year long now, a year. So all in together, 12 people have been sacrificed at Bryn Shander, which...
Probably about time we did something about it then.
What was his name? Is he well loved in this town? That man who's out there in the elements? It hasn't worked the last 11 times. Will it work this time? Scar?
Well, the odds say no. Perhaps Cal and I can have a chat with, what's her name? Our boss.
Duvessa.
This is shame.
She won't stand to this reason, I'm sure.
Vessa.
Sorry, mate, this bar's a bit loud. What did you say?
Duvessa never listens. Never listens. She's not listened before.
That's true. So she's not even listening to a dwarf. Strange times.
So the question that what are you going to discuss with her exactly? And would it be better coming from female?
Female druid. We haven't tried that before. Could do, or we could just, if we're all keen, just head out there and give the guy some ale and keep him warm and make sure. What do we think's going to happen to him? Are we aware of what happens to them, other than them dying or disappearing? Do we know what?
Generally eaten by wolves and other carnivorous animals out there. And so it's either the cold that gets them first, because, you know, it's probably like minus 30 degrees Celsius out there. You know, damn cold. And obviously being naked out there is not good. So you're never quite sure what kills them first. It's either the cold or the animals getting to them. Either way, not there in the morning. Dragged away by wolves and other carnivorous creatures, as crag cats as well.
Well, I'm not the greatest of thinkers. Does anybody have any other ideas? But best we've got at the moment is Lady Druid talks to our lady friend, boss.
Sounds like some kind of sacrifice. Maybe we should
I think so.
ask around and see what the locals are afraid of.
Good idea.
Can I have everybody as the first roll of the game? So this is going to 100% set your character on a trajectory with this one roll. I did this with one group before, and it was at advantage, and the guy rolled a double natural 1. So hopefully you do better than that. So what I'm going to need everybody to do, the first roll of the game, is to make me a perception check. So go to your character sheet in D&D Beyond and just click on Perception under Skills.
Where are you, perception? Element OP. Here we go.
22, look at that.
18.
These are all pretty good.
Oh, 19. 18? 19.
Scar got 18.
18, I think.
Plus 2. Wow, look at that. The worst roll was a 15 on the dice, so that is fantastic. So much so that you can get a cheer for that.
Hey.
So as you're wandering around, what you can damn well do about these sacrifices, I mean, it sounds as all of you are just uncomfortable with the fact that something is being sacrificed. You stop and wonder for a second, and you start listening to the buzz. I'll say all of you hear this with your excellent perception rolls. And once people are doing toasts for Cray Sagor, he seemed to be just a solid member of the community, just getting by with his wife and kids, taking up odd jobs, just a salt of the earth character. And everybody you see people are giving toast to Cray Sagor as he's almost certainly not going to be there in the morning. But then you hear the conversation around the tavern change just a little bit. Now it's a buzz with news about a series of recent killings. Before the only question on everybody's mind was, will Summer ever return to Icewind Dale? Now the question is changing to, will I be the killer's next victim? Nothing breeds fear and paranoia like a murderer with no face. Now, 3 cold-blooded murders have been committed in the past month. A halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower in Bryn Shander. Each victim was found with a dagger of ice through the heart. What's the connection? No one has any credible ideas. But sitting apart from you is an elderly share dwarf with a nasty scar across her nose. Who looked like she has something worth knowing. She's been smoking on a pipe and eyeing you ever since you walk in. And as your eyes turn around, she sees you looking at her, and you see her looking up her. And she gets up, creaking a little bit on the chair, and comes up and sits at your table. Howdy, young whippersnappers. My name's Hill Trollbane. Oh, sorry, Flynn Trollbane. I've seen a lot of you before. Scar, Cal, nice to see you again.
Always a pleasure.
Well met.
Well met indeed. And who's the rest of you? Hi, Elf. What's your name, friend?
Shajire, Silverbirth.
Shajaya Silverbirth. I gotta say, we don't see a lot of high elves out here. What brings you out this way? I understand. Secrets are as they make. People come to Icewind Dale to hide from their past, shall we say. But what about you? What brings you to Icewind Dale?
I'm a researcher. I look after an ancient library, so I'm here looking for historical information.
Well, can't say I can help you with that, miss, but if I see anything, I'll let you know. And what about you, my half-orc friend? What brings you here? This here's addressing Malamuck.
I've come in out of the wilderness to try and find a solution to this madness. This winter has been going on for too long. And in our desperation, we've turned to even you city folk, town folk. Perhaps you might have an answer.
Well, trust me, friend, if I had an answer, I would have done it by now. I mean, my adventuring days is far behind me. You know, I've hung up my proverbial axe. Now, I thought I could enjoy the good life in the Icewind Dales, but here we are. This is not the place to be. It's just too damn cold. But I wish you luck in your quest, friend, no problem. And I see we have a drow in our presence as well. Half drow, if I'm not mistaken?
Very astute. Tarvin is my name. Just Tarvin.
Tarvin. Well, Tarvin, once again, everybody's secrets is their own. There's bound to be a few people here who look at you sideways being a dark elf. But I pretty much guarantee those people looking at you sideways are the thieves and murderers who are taking shelter in Icewind Dale, away from the authorities and Waterdeep and other big cities along the coast. Like, oh, my lore is failing. Like Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate. Yeah, Neverwinter as well. There we go. So I can't help because I'm a curious dwarf. What brings a half dark elf to this area of the world?
Well, let's just say it's a matter of life and death. I don't want to say any more than that, but I'm looking for answers.
Yeah. Pray that you find them, friend. So, you probably heard the rumors about the murderers around town.
Indeed.
Yes.
It's not a good thing. I mean, the glass bar. He was a good type. Now, I've been a bit of an adventurer in my past as well, and I'm not sure if you're the right people to talk to. I mean, the councils of speakers. I mean, you already saw Duverset Shane giving her speech out there that sacrificed poor old Grey. They've got big problems to deal with. They've got to keep the population happy, stop each other from ripping each other's throat. You know, desperate time calls for desperate measures. People are resorting to theft and brutal beatings. But these murders, by far the worst. So they can't be bothered solving this, but they're looking into things. And I think who it might be. So tell me, friends, if I throw a little bit of gold your way, do you mind looking this in for me? My old bones aren't up to it.
I would be more than willing to if you have a lead on what's going on here.
Well, there's this guy called Sifik Cultro. Now, some of you might have seen him. He's an odd character. He works for this small traveling merchant company called Torgs, owned and operated by a shading dwarf called Torga Icevein. In other words, Sifik gets around. He's charming. He makes friends easily. He's also Torga's bodyguard. So I'm guessing he's good with a blade. Now, here's what I've deduced. His victims only come from the three towns that sacrifice people to Frostmaiden on nights of the new moon. I mean, we saw that but an hour ago. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it, but this is what passes for civilized behavior in Icewind Dale. Maybe, just maybe, the victims found a way to keep their name out of the drawings, and Sifik found out they were cheating, so he killed them. Maybe, just maybe, Sifik is doing the Frostmaiden's work. Now, there are odd things that happens during this journey. Sometimes people's names have been put in twice, and those people's names have not been put in all. Maybe there's some gold, maybe there's some cheating. It does happen. I mean, I trust both you, Scar and Cal, Axfell. I know you're a decent type. You're not, fiddling with a jaw, but it does happen. Now, the strange thing is, these 3 victims, they were just common folk. No bribes happening, nothing about that. So, maybe Sefik is doing the Frostmaiden's work. Now, I followed Torgs for 10 days and moved from town to town. Quite the devious little enterprise, but that's not my concern. What struck me, though, is how comfortable Sefik Caltro looked in the winter. No coat, no scarves, no gloves. It was like the cold couldn't touch him. Ha! Kiss of the Frostmaiden indeed. I'll pay you 100 gold pieces to apprehend Sefik Caltro. Ascertain his guilt and deal with him, preferably without involving the authorities. When the job is done, return to me, collect your money. What do you say, friends?
Yeah, if the money's good, I'm in.
Yes, I'm interested too.
Sorry, is what race is Sefik Caltro?
He's a human. Well, he appears to be a human as well. I mean, he's got the human features. The only odd thing about him is if you look too closely into his eyes, they glow a light blue.
Right.
Definitely a human.
Definitely human.
I will
So
point out as Malcolm that 100 gold pieces is a small fortune to you guys. That's
Oh, yeah.
an insane amount of money. Insane. Yep.
I just want to track down more information on this Frost Maiden. If he's an agent for her, perhaps he can lead us to her.
Good idea. I mean, I can't guarantee he's got the kiss of the Frost Maiden, shall we say, but seemingly immune to cold, those blue eyes. Good idea.
Well, Scar leans forward, sees Trollbane in the eyes, and he's just like, just put it really simple. What have you got on Sefik? Real simple.
What have I got on Sefik? Well, here's the facts as I know it. The cart, led by Torga. I mean, you guys have all seen Torga comes around from town to town, and she sacrifices like common goods, like clothing, cooking ware, things like that, just junk basically. And it's kind of like a wide-known secret that Torga probably steals it and then sells it on in the next town. But people accept it as a way of going through. So you have seen Torga going from town to town. So the thing that makes me suspicious is the murders have only happened in Argos, Bryn Shander, East Haven. Now the interesting thing about every one of those towns is that the only place where humans are sacrifices. I mean, other towns sacrifice heat, other towns sacrifice food, which are both in short supply, if you can imagine. But only these places, Targos, Bryn Shander, East Haven. And as I said before, they were killed with some sort of ice knife. Ice knife, Sefik Caltro, touched by the Frostmaiden? I think it's him.
And what could his possible motive be, if you were to guess?
Well, if he's truly serving the Ice Queen, the Ice Maiden, as I suspect, Ariel, then if people are getting out of the draw, there's effectively a divinely chosen sacrifice. They should be sacrificed to Ariel. And if Ariel is talking to this person saying, that person cheated my deal, I wanted that sacrifice, and some poor bastard like Cray out there is sacrificed instead, then the Ice Maiden would want that person dead. So, Sifik Caltro doing the bidding of the Ice Maiden herself and killing the person that they've decreed, but seemingly cheated themselves out of the draw somehow. So motive, serving the queen.
Alright then. You got my axe. Well, it's a sword in this case.
Where would we find this Sifik?
Well, that's the problem. Torga's caravan travels from town to town, so your guess is as good as mine. I mean, she was in Bryn Shander not that long ago. 3 weeks. Could be anywhere. Guaranteed Torga and Sifik Culture are somewhere in one of the 10 towns. You'll just have to look for yourself, I'm afraid. But
Right.
if you're planning to travel around the 10 towns, then, you may as well have a look while you're going.
Well, I'm going from town to town anyway, so I'll tag along if that's all right. Let's go. But where? Which town first?
The dwarf was the glassblower got killed recently, and he thinks. Am I right in assuming that Trollbane thinks the dwarf glassblower was the last person killed? If that was recent, maybe we could go check that out because it's local. It'd be the quickest to do. Maybe we could find something off that. That's a guess. I don't know.
The body of the dwarf is stored like in a morgue of sort inside the town hall of Bryn Shander. Now, fortunately, bodies keep very well in this cold. There's no need to freeze, so the bodies keep well. So the frozen body of this poor dwarf can be found.
How long ago was his death? Was it
I'm
murder?
gonna retroact sometimes. The sacrifice happened. The Cray Sagar. The dwarf was murdered later on that day, and I'm changing the timeline a bit. And you guys all meet up together the next day. This is a day after the sacrifice and day after the murder of the dwarf.
Right. Do we know where the dwarf lived? Where the murder happened?
Yep.
And we don't know who murdered him.
Yeah,
I
that's
reckon we
this-
go to we start with the scene of the murder, right? That's a good
That's
idea.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sorry, I'm missing some experience here.
That's
The
okay, mate.
Trollbane thinks that it was the Sifik Caltro who killed him.
Okay, I'm actually writing this down, but
Excellent.
I missed that bit.
If you want to know spellings, by the way, Leah, if you go to Roll20,
Yeah.
type the names there.
Yes, I'm there, and
cool.
I'm copying and pasting them.
Okay, I'll give you a quick recap then. So Duvessa
Yeah.
Shane is the leader
Yeah.
of this town, also called a speaker,
Yes.
town speaker, town
Yeah.
leader. Flynn Trollbane is this dwarf that's come up and talked to you and is offering you 100 gold pieces to find the murderer.
Yes.
She suspects the murderer is Sifik Caltro, this guy who is seemingly immune to the cold, presents as a human except for has his glowing blue eyes.
Yeah.
And Torga Icevein is a dwarf, and she travels from town to town with her cart selling junk, basically, like leather.
Yeah, I've got most of the last bit. I missed that critical piece of information. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you clear now?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Excellent.
Malcolm, is it possible to send us a list? I don't know if it's important. Is it possible to send us a list of all the murder victims from different towns?
Yep.
Ow.
Just 1 second.
Cool, thanks, man.
Just let me. Okay, we don't know the names except for the dwarf inside of here, but this is what you know about them. So put that in chat.
So do we know on this map of Bryn Shander where his glass blowing shop, or where the murder took place?
Yep, I'll show that for you in a second. His name was Thoradin, was the name of the dwarf who got murdered. And I will put it on the map here for you. So, you should see now right here on the map, that's right where Thoradin's house is.
And we're in that central market area at the moment, in the pub there somewhere?
Oh, actually,
No,
you're in the
we're at the
Northlook Tavern.
by the north gate.
Oh, North. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, up there. Cool.
This is where everybody gathered for the drawings of the names out of the hat.
Mhm.
And then you
That's true.
Northlook Tavern is a good one. And this is the place I mentioned to you in private chat, Albie.
Oh, cool.
So that's your home base.
All right.
Well, it sounds
Well,
as if you're interested in this. That's great. I gotta say, my high elf friend, you look a little bit under the weather. You sure you're up for such a quest like this?
Don't be fooled. I'm not as weak as I look.
Oh, no offense meant, miss. You just look a little bit tired and rattled.
I just don't like the cold.
You and me both, friends. You and me both. Well, yep. If you're interested, well, you sound interested. You'll find me here at the Northlook. If you guys have any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
What time of the day is it, Malcolm?
Let's say it's around noon. I mean, that's the time your body tells you, but looking up into the sky, it's just endless night in the center. But it feels, according to your body, it's about noon.
Righto, thanks.
And did you
Before
say
you go
that,
to his... Oh, no, go, Kyle.
did you say that Thoradin's body was at the town hall?
Yes, so there's Thoradin's house. He does have a wife,
Okay.
but his body is in the town hall, which is right there.
Just kind of on the
We go.
way.
Should we go on the way? Should we go to the body?
Yeah.
Should we go to the body first?
Oh, I might as well. Oh, you reckon? Yeah, the body. Yeah, on the way. Yeah, I think I like
It's on
that
the way
idea.
to...
Okay, one more thing happens as you're
Oh.
getting up to leave this mismatched group, not really knowing each other. And as you're about to leave the Northlook Tavern, 3 stocky figures, bundled in cold weather garb, stumble towards you. They have snowshoes slung over their backs and ice pick fastened to their belts. And 2 of them have thick beards. The third holds up a gloved hand and says through a thick wooden scarp of a raspy voice, "Hello, me. I'm Runa. This is my fix, the Corks and Storn. We need help, and you look capable. Might we have a word?"
How can we help you, friend?
Now, tell you what, have a seat. You can tell these are all dwarves. I say, tell what, you look like a you can just hold a sword at least. And as a weird act of generosity for the dwarves, I'll offer you a round of ale if you'll just listen to us. What do you say, friends?
You
I've
had
got
me
some.
at ale.
I'll have milk.
And the guy who look.
Yeah.
Okay. Not mine to judge. Not mine to judge.
Why would you?
Well, absolutely. I understand why you drink anything other than beer. You're familiar with the classic beer drinking song by the dwarves, are you not?
Oh yeah, I love that one. It's
It
good.
goes beer, 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 beer. That's the first verse. Second verse, beer, 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 beer. Classic drinking song.
You forgot the chorus. Beer, beer, beer,
Oh,
beer,
you know
beer.
it. You know it.
I love it, Phil.
Oh, excuse me. So the dwarf goes and he comes back with an ale for each of you and a milk for Scar. Now,
Lovely.
please, Now, friends, drink up. It's not often you're
Okay.
bought beer from a dwarf, so take this as a significant life event. But we walk in a mine located in the valley, in the base of what is known as Calvin's Cairn. And I'll show you on the map here, says Malcolm. So Calvin's Cairn is this kind of mountain up here, and this is a dwarven valley here, which they're referring to. So we walk in a mine located in the valley at the base of Calvin's Cairn. Now, this mine is operated by Clan Battlefield, and it provides most of the iron to the smithies in 10 towns. In other words, no iron from the mine, no swords, no shields, no cooking ware. Now, so Runa, who's speaking for the voice, is speaking for the group. Her voice is very raspy by years of smoking, and she's lost her right ear and 2 fingers to frostbite. So as she's speaking half with her hands and half with her voice, you notice that 2 of her fingers are lost. And this is fairly common, ears have lost, lips have chapped and broken off. So a lot of people hide their faces, not only to keep from the cold, but to hide their hideous appearance. Now, Korax, I'll put all these names in chat for those keeping note. And then there's Hrun, who's doing the talking. Hruna. So, and Crocs, he's just staring at you and sullen, doesn't talk much. Now, he's lost 3 fingers and his nose to frostbite. Now, Storn, the last one, he keeps on looking out the window before returning that. He's glancing nervously. He's expecting someone to swoop down from the sky. Now we're a survivor of a group of dwarves, us 3 here, which were delivering a sled of iron ingots to Bryn Shander. Now, a yeti of all creatures, they surprised us and killed a member of our group. Now, the rest of us fled as the yeti tore poor old Ubok limb from limb. Now, we need someone to go back and get the sled for us. As payment, we offer each of you, or 5, kinda 6, if Twitch shows up, with a gemstone worth 50 gold pieces. Yep, that's pretty decent enough, but I offer you a far more advantageous thing. The friendship of the dwarves of Icewind Dale can be a boon in these harsh times. Now, you'll need shoes to make the trip a good time. So what do you say? Is that interesting to you?
Sounds good to me.
Make a wonderful donation to the House of the Morning Lord, on my part anyway.
Well, mine's not to question what you use the money for, miss. Sir, sorry. No,
And why would you?
I've got a question. Tarvin just wants to know, how many days walk is it to this site? Is it we're going to the mountain, are we? Or the valley?
Any place?
Well, we were transferring it from our mines located along the Dwarven Valley, and we got most of the way to Bryn Shander, so it's only about maybe a day's walk, sort of northeast of town.
I, for one, would like to get out of this town. These walls are claustrophobic.
Well, this
It's hard to
certainly the mission for you then, friend.
It's hard to turn your nose up at such a fine reward. I think we do it. But do we question, just as a group huddle here, do we continue with the investigation into this murder, or do we abandon it for the time being?
Well, my allegiance is first of all to the city, so I will continue the murder here.
Continue the murder.
Investigation. Well, the investigation as such. Ha ha ha!
And I warrant we will all need to get supplies and shoes suitable for travelling the harsh roads.
Tell you what,
You make
friend.
sense.
Tell you what, friend. As an act of goodwill, as this is important not only for the dwarves but for the people of 10 towns, Here, if you don't have snowshoes, I'll provide them for you. And he hands out snowshoes to those who do not have them.
Nice.
We put those on our inventories.
Yep, you can add snowshoes. Now, just
Thank you.
out of note, this you'd all know this. Walking around in normal shoes is just suicide, quite frankly. Snowshoes will help. The other common ways you could get around is you could buy some sled dogs, or you could buy something called an axe-beak. I'll point out both of these are well beyond your current budget. Like axe-beaks go for 50 gold pieces each, and sled dogs are even more expensive. So snowshoes are good, sled dogs are better, and you can also travel around on these interesting creature axe-beaks. But they do cost 50 gold pieces each, so keep that in mind.
Malcolm, would me or Cal know whether this ingot, the dwarf's ingot issue, would be a big deal for our boss? Her name escapes me again. Gosh.
This is Shane.
Yeah, Devessa Shane.
Yes. I mean, as the dwarf rightly pointed out, supplies used to come along this path here, through the spine of the world. Supplies would come back and forth. The supply chains to the 10 towns have just dried up completely. So any resources that they can generate internally, like iron ingots, are worth more than their weight in gold. So these iron ingots are very important to Bryn Shander.
Oh.
Sorry, what's this axe-beak here? I understand.
So ways to travel around the town.
I see.
Use
Yep.
snowshoes between towns, or ride an axe-beak, or get a dog sled. Yeah.
I want an X-Beak. Always wanted an X-Beak. Scar makes a suggestion that maybe today we could check out the murder, and then tomorrow morning head out and, depending on what evolves from the murdery investigation, head out and help these dwarves tomorrow morning.
Sounds as fine enough a plan as anything right now.
That sounds good.
to me.
So let's take him up on his offer.
Yeah.
All right, we got a deal. We'll be hanging out in here. You might find us at Black Iron Blades as well, which you know is a local weaponsmith general supply shop. We're just looking around. We're not. We feel safe enough in Bryn Shander for the moment, but you'll find us around. But good luck to you. And once again, the friendships of the dwarves is not to be underestimated. So good luck to you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Corix.
Nods.
So, are we going to the town hall first? Is that our first port of call?
If everybody agrees,
Let's do
I
it.
think that's a great idea.
Some way.
I
Agree.
Yep.
Okay. So, you head out of the warm comforts of the North Look Tavern. And immediately it's just cold out here. I mean, no place is ever truly warm across the 10 towns. But if a place is warmer than anything else, it would be the town halls and the inns and so on. This gives you temporarily respite. But you head over to the town hall, where you know both Devessa Shane will be staying, as well as the body of Tarvin. So you knock on the... You just wander in, Scar and Cal. I mean, this is...
They'll do.
This is your thing. Then you see for you two, you see a familiar halfling receptionist, and just a middle-aged halfling, blonde hair, bright blue eyes, dressed in leathers that she's taken the time to put the insignia of Bryn Shander on. She's hey Scar, good to see you, old friend. What can I do you for, Cal? Nice to see you. What can I do you for?
We're here to see the body of Thoradin.
Oh, yeah, that's a terrible situation, is it not? Yeah, follow me.
Lovely.
And this halfling woman takes you down to, like, it's not a morgue, it's more of a basement. And laid down on this table is the body of, you assume, who's Thoradin. He's covered with a cloth, out of respect. He's, oh, okay, I'll just leave your scar. I mean, just come upstairs if you need anything. But, quite frankly, dead bodies make me a little bit uncomfortable. So, I'll be seeing you, and let me know if you need anything. And with that,
Love your work.
she scurries back up top.
And can I do like a medicine check or something to check him out to see if there's anything?
You absolutely can do a medicine check.
If I, so trying to use my druidic sort of medicine-y, healy sort of things to look at him to see if there's anything especially strange with the way he passed.
Sure. So with your medicine check, 5.
He is dead. He is dead. The end.
That is entirely insightful.
I might still be able to save him. Hold on.
I mean, even with a medicine check of 5, this dwarf is certainly dead. Even with a medicine check of 5, you notice he's died of a stab wound to the heart. That's about it.
Anything strange?
Yeah.
Sky has looked at the stab wound itself, just checking out if there's anything strange about it. So, because there was an ice knife mentioned. Is that the forefront of his thoughts as he does this?
Yeah. You know, according to your friend, Flynn Trollbane, killed with an ice knife.
Can we see where on his body the knife killed him?
Quentin.
Make me a medicine check, if you'd be so kind.
Can you please help me do that?
Sure can.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Halfway down the skills.
You'll see on your
Halfway down the... Oh, yeah, okay, I've got it.
So with your medicine check of a...
Oh!
That's called a dirty 20 when you roll 20, but it's not a natural. So with your dirty 20, you get a bit closer and you look at this wound. Now normally, with if he was killed with a blade or something, you'd notice like little serrations and stuff around the wound. This was a very, very clean shot, and it got him right in the heart. And you notice even on this frozen body, this around the wound, there's like even more frozen. So, in your opinion, he was stabbed in the heart with something very cold and very clean as well. And you know that such a blow would a shot to the heart is quickly fatal.
It is to blame.
Yes. Sure
It just
is.
occurred to me, we don't know where the murder weapon is.
Where the murder weapon is?
Yeah.
I imagine what's his name, Torgar's holding it if he is indeed the murderer.
Point.
Sefik is the possible murderer.
Oh, Sefik. My bad, Sefik. Looking at my wrong notes that I wrote down on my forearm.
If I sorry.
No, good.
If I have some, when exactly do you bring in the things that you know? Like any time, or is it better to wait, or like as in because my character is researching that substance.
That is 100% up to you as a player. You can share as little or as much as I've shared with you privately, so you can... That's 100% up to you.
Well, I feel I should say one of the things I came here for was to research
Do you want me to say it for
trying
you?
to find the right name for it. Yeah, it's called Shardalin.
Shardalin.
Is that right?
Shardalin.
Shardalin. and I want. I'm really particularly interested in it because it's something that is created out of ice, and it's enchanted and infused with magic.
Are you
So-
suggesting that the weapon that did this could have been made of Shardolin?
Yes, that's what I'm wondering because unless it was actually ice, which is I don't know why it would still be frozen if it was ice because it would have melted.
The perfect murder.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if perhaps that was something we could look for. Was the shard that was made out of this Shardolin. And
Do any of
it
you
would-
druids who I respect most have so much respect for, do any of you have spells that I've heard of, such as detect magic or something that you could cast upon the wound?
Not me, not right now. I think that if I was to talk about it and break the fourth wall, I think that's like beyond my level. Right
He's
now,
turning to camera. You're turning to camera. You can't turn to camera.
We'll just call
I
you
go-
Deadpool. Picking the fourth
Yeah.
wall.
So apart from guessing it, we can't tell. I don't know what the next move would be to find out where the weapon is.
Well, he was married. I assume his wife's still alive. Maybe she might know something about who has it out for him, or maybe she witnessed something.
let's go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, to that. See the wife.
Okay.
Sheridan House is not so far away either.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you, I mean, feel free to do what you like, but you did say you wanted to speak to the speaker, and you're in the house that the speaker is in. Up to you.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll
Let's
also
go talk.
point- I'll also point out that what we're going to do, we are going to rename your character so the pronunciation is obvious. So, how do you pronounce your character's name, Leah?
Shajaya.
Shadjire. So I think if we spell it like that, if you look over.
I just picked it because I picked it out of a selection, and the others were not great either.
That's all right. I mean, I've renamed your character, Shajaya. Let me just make all the changes. Yeah, so if you look over in the Heroes tab in your journal over in the right, if you don't see your journal, by the way, just click on the speech bubbles on the top left.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll see Cal, Twitch, Scar, and Shajaya. So if we spell it like that, I think our lives going to be a lot simpler. What do you think?
Yes, that's cool. Thank you.
Okay. So, change your D&D Beyond as well, Shajaya. Okay, so Shajaya. The what you know about Shardolin, I mean, you know it's it could have been used to murder this person because it's a very cold to the touch item. So yeah, you think Shardolin could at least be a possible murder weapon.
And not everybody can get hold of it, so that someone who has it could have a very specific motive.
And the I won't say anymore. I was going to say something, but I'll leave you that to deduce. So
Okay.
So you finish looking over the body of Thoradin, very obviously dead with this wound to his heart that it's made from something cold. Maybe an ice pick, maybe an ice dagger, maybe a thing of Shardolin. Questions to be determined. But you trot up the stairs and you head up to speak to Devessa Shane. And I've shared her art before. But you see, she's at her table and she's poring over some papers. And she sees you guys enter, and she gives a nod to both Scar and Cal.
Scar's probably behind because he said a quick prayer to Lathander for the dwarf.
Okay, nice. Okay, so scurrying up the stairs after them, you see Defessa Chain, and there's a person talking to her, and they're kind of going over some notes. And she says, just one moment, please, just one moment. And you hear her chatting back and forth to this person, and there's talks about shortages of food, shortages of fuel, shortages of whale oil, which they burn for their lamps. Basically speaking to the fact that everybody's struggling. But as I said in my intro monologue, if you want to be in one place in all of the 10 towns, the safest place is Bryn Shander because of its town hall. But eventually, Defessa Chain leans back and rubs her forehead and says, "Oh, yeah, Scar, Hell, others. It's been a long day. Everything's short. Everybody wants me to fix it, and I try my best, but man, this is hard. Anyway, enough of me complaining. What can I help you for? What can I help you with?"
We have heard rumors of murders in some of the towns, and we are planning to investigate them for you. And also, we think we can help that a shipment of iron will be able to be bought, and we're going to investigate it. It was attacked on the road nearby.
Ah, Cal, blessings of the gods upon you. I mean, you and Scar have gone above and beyond for Bryn Shander in these trying times, so I thank you. But Thoradin, my heart so heavy for him, but I just don't have the manpower to investigate it. I mean, it's sad that he's died, but if I don't get this food situation sorted out, if I don't get this fuel sorted out, people are dying in this town. From starvation, from the cold by fire. And I just don't have the time or the resources to do Thoradin, and it breaks my heart, but I just don't have the manpower.
Scar says sarcastically, "Well, maybe we should make another sacrifice. That seems to be working out fine."
Scar, look, this is what we came to as a decision as a town. We did put it to the vote. I mean, you heard my strong opposition to it.
And you know how I feel about democracy.
Well, it was a one-time edict. And it was felt that if the Frostmaiden wanted death, then by golly, we'd give her death. I don't agree with it, but my job as the town speaker is not to agree with orders, not to agree with decisions, but to follow the decisions. So while it breaks my heart to do this every new moon, we're gonna keep on doing it, otherwise we're gonna have a revolution on our hands. And trust me, that's the last thing we need at the moment. So I object to it. I know you object to it, Scar, but I am not stopping it. Come the new moon, someone else will be sacrificed.
Scar looks to... sorry.
Well, ladies and orcs, that gives us 1 month to solve this issue.
Yeah.
30 days, 28 days.
Well, the only thing that's gonna stop these sacrifices is this blasted winter to end. Forgive my sarcasm, but I think you don't have a hope in a hell of solving this within 28 days. But if you do, well, you'll have the entirety of the 10 towns to thank you.
Tarvin steps forward and asks, "Was there a murder weapon ever found, or was that missing as well?"
Missing, as far as we know. As I said, we haven't put much investigation into it. But Thoradin was found not far from his home, with a stab wound to the chest. No murder weapon.
And what do you think of the idea that Thoradin was meant to be sacrificed?
Well, I'll tell you two things. One, I know that Cray Sagar didn't have that coming. He's a good, honest, hard-working man. Didn't get what he deserved. Now, Thoradin, on the other hand, he's been here. He basically arrived when the winter started. He timed it exactly wrong. He had grand plans of opening up another smithy in here, in addition to the black iron blades, but didn't work out for him. So let's just say he's doing odd jobs and not necessarily lawful. He's a bit of a scoundrel. No, I mean, try as we might, we're not keeping every name out of the barrel. Maybe Thoradin found a way to escape it. I know it's happening. I've talked to old Hlyn Trollblane. She's told me her suspicions. So, I don't know. Thoradin's a shifty character. Maybe he palmed one of you two gentlemen's looking at Kalinska, palmed you a name that wasn't his own. Maybe he snuck his name out of the barrel. Maybe he wrote another name in a barrel. I have no idea. All I know is Thoradin's dead. We can do nothing about it. And I have far more pressing matters to concern.
We talk to his. Who found him? Who found him?
One
Was
of
it the city guard.
One of the city guard, yep. Poor bastard had to break it to his wife, too.
Did Cal or Scar know which one of their mates did the discovery?
Yes, you do. Was a fellow guard by the names of Boomin Midam was the guard that happened to find him.
Well, maybe we can go check out the house and then go have a chat with Boobin.
Good idea.
I've got a few questions for the wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I assume she'll be at the house.
Well, it's one place to start looking anyway.
Let's go.
Right.
We can also look at the area where he was found as well, in case there's any clues still in there.
Was he found at the house? Yes. Yeah,
Just outside of
Nearby.
it. Nearby.
Okay.
Cal, you mentioned some iron ingots as well?
Yes. At the tavern we have heard tale of a iron shipment ambushed by a yeti. So after we have finished talking with Thoradin's wife, we will be shortly going to investigate what happened to the shipment and recovering it if we can.
That would be most helpful. People at the two dwarves at Black Iron Blades are screaming out for ingots for all sorts of reasons, so that'd be appreciated. My question is, why would a Yeti be attacking an iron ingots shipment? Doesn't make any sense. A mystery for another time, but if you could cover the iron ingots, that would be most appreciated. But if you forgive me, I have much to do. So if there's no more questions, I will bid you farewell.
All right, then. Let's get out of our way.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And you leave the Northlook Tavern, head out back into the streets of streets of Bryn Shander, and you make your way over to Thoradin's house. A simple dwelling. What do you find adventurers wish to do?
We examine the area where he was found, or is it just in a walkway?
It's just like, say, in this walkway here, just between these two rows of houses. That's where the body was found. And if everybody wants to make a check of the crime scene, you can
please.
make an investigation check. And Shajai, here is something you could do. You have a cantrip called Guidance. You see on your spell under cantrips called Guidance. You can cast this as many times per day as you like. And this would be the perfect time to tap one of your friends You can roleplay this how you like. What you're doing, you're channeling nature, I guess, being a druid, into this person, and they'll get an extra 4-sided dice to do to their roll. So, Shajai, do you in fact guide somebody? And if you do, please explain how you do it.
Do I roll the dice to guide them? Or do I talk to them first? I'm sorry for seeming a bit...
No. Well, who do you want to guide? We'll start there. You could guide yourself if you like.
Oh, I think I can help the group. Can I? Is it only one person?
Only one person.
Oh, okay. Well then, Scar can guide him to get to the house.
Okay, this is something you could say. This is something you might want to look at in the future. Just because you're not playing Leah, of course. You're playing Shajaya.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So, I mean, this is the cool thing about Dungeons and Dragons. You get to play, the brave, dragonborn paladin noble, or you can play the timid drow. There's all sorts of things. So it's cool playing people that you aren't. What's something Shajaya could do is say, Askara, I know this is a very important mission. It's important we get to the bottom of this murder. I know you're good at looking around. So the blessings of nature be upon you. And you gently tap Scar's shoulder, and he is now going to get a D4 roll to when he does his investigation check.
Okay.
So this could be playing it like that. So, in other words, now everybody make me an investigation check.
Thank you for that. That was actually really helpful.
Good. Let's see these investigations.
Oh, natty 20.
Oh, yeah. So, natural 20.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Dirty one.
Oh, right.
Dirty one.
Wow. So, remember not to... so,
Excellent.
yeah. So,
That's the town guard for you.
You don't get to be in the town guard because of your intelligence.
So, Scar, roll me a D4.
All seen, all up.
3. So this is what your spell did. It changed his 11 investigation. Was it 11? Yeah, 11
Yes.
into
Yep.
a 14. So that helps. And sometimes, it could be the difference. And so you touch him on the shoulder, and you feel the magic of nature flowing out of you. And infusing Scar with magic. I just wanted to play my cool sound effect. That was the whole reason for that. Okay, you look around the area. Despite the help of Shajai, Scar, not a lot. Tarvin, you're kicking around snow. Callisto, you start searching over here for some reason. Completely off base. You're sure it's over here, but you get lost.
Smell something yummy.
But it's not something yummy here. But Malama, you do find something with your natural 20, which will get a yay as well. You do find the remnants of something it's hidden under snow, and everybody else basically walked over it. And it's kind of hard up against a building outside where people would normally walk. And it's not a weapon or anything like that, but you find a long, thin shard of ice that could if it was like a sword, it's about the size of a blade of a sword hilt. And with your investigation of 20, you look at it closely and you think it's odd to see an icicle form this well up against the side. Like icicles would fall to the ground and just shatter. So why is this very thin icicle thing hidden under snow right next to this building? So that's what you find.
Yeah. It's Shajaya. Come look at this. And I show it to her.
Yeah.
Is this the sort of thing that you were looking for? That you've come to investigate? And I pick it up.
Yeah.
And I hand it, and I hold it in front of her face.
Definitely looks like it.
It
We have to
definitely
check
does
how-
not. Shardolin is deep black.
Ah,
It's crystalline.
Yeah, if it wasn't clear on my notes, it's a black substance.
Oh, I'm
Like
sorry.
black ice. That's right. So this does not look like Shardolin.
Can
Just
we-
checking over here. It doesn't say that it's black.
Oh, have
So
I did
I'm
it? My
sorry.
apologies. It's black.
Oh, okay.
Can
So no,
I-
it doesn't look anything like it.
Maybe pass
but
it
this
around.
certainly, but it certainly looks like the sort of thing that could have stabbed him. Can we investigate it further? Like, is there? Can we?
You want a
Yeah.
closer look at it?
Test its
Or-
strength to see
Or
if
a
it
magic?
is ice.
Because it looks magical. Is there an arcana
Yeah.
check or a nature
Any
check? If
any
it's
blood on it?
natural?
Uh,
Any blood frozen on it? That sort of thing. Yeah.
no. Well, I'll tell you what. Determine if it's magical. Anybody who's proficient in Arcana can make that check for me. Now,
Okay, I'm
Shajaya, you're probably going to ask me
Mhm.
this. You are proficient in Arcana, which is why you
Yeah.
have that little black dot next to Arcana.
So do I roll?
Yeah.
Can I roll?
So you're trying to deduce if it's magical. And with your
Ooh.
17,
All right, go Shaj.
you look at it. I mean, you've been around the Dales long enough to know that. I lost my train of thought. So you look at this, and you've seen ice before. This is an odd shape.
Yes.
Um,
I'm thinking that it's definitely not just ice. Something else.
well, this is what your Arcana check is going to reveal. And you look closely at it, and in your opinion, it is in fact just ice, but the ice was magically made.
Okay.
Like the sheen on the blade is just too perfect to be naturally forming. So you don't think the shard of ice is magical as such, but you think that it was created by something magical.
So I can tell that this has been conjured.
Yes, conjured. That's a great word.
So it's not natural. So whoever, if they used it as the weapon, they were able to, use magic. Why would they be in that situation with Thoradin outside his house?
With magically formed ice.
Yeah,
Why use that over a normal weapon?
exactly. And why would they choose such a weapon?
Can we ask the wife?
Good idea.
Now, somebody said they wanted a closer look at the weapon to see if you could spot blood on it. That would be a perception check. So anybody who thinks they would like to have a look at the sword in a bit more detail, make me a perception check.
We'll have a
Well,
go.
I'm
I could do
holding
that.
it. I can do that. I'm holding it as well.
Cool.
Okay, you do it.
Malamak,
There you go.
23.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else having a look?
Oh yeah, okay. Perception. Not so good.
Scar's about to
Okay.
take a hold of it, and then he realizes big
Alright.
mitts are too big. He doesn't want to break it.
the dwarf.
I'm pretty sure that's a snowball. I've seen the kids throwing those around all of the time. You can never catch the little blighters.
Okay, so
Pick it up
Malamak,
to throw it at him.
throw that snowball. And Shajaya,
Yes.
you look closely. You seem to have on the train of thought that this is the murder weapon. It's odd that it's here and so close to where he died. You do not detect any blood on it whatsoever. You look closely at it, and apart from the sheer uniform of it, like this is why you thought it was magical, made for magical means in the first place, you don't detect any blood or anything else that would give a clue. But you suspect this is the murder weapon, but
Yeah.
no blood or anything like that. Nothing is determined, even with your 23 perception.
Okay.
I think you guys should
Is
hold
it
on to it.
Yeah, is it melting in our hands or is it staying frozen?
Well, I'm assuming you're all handling it with gloves, because quite frankly, it's dangerous to take off your gloves while you're outside. And no, it is not melting.
No, it's not melting. Okay, so we can keep it, we can put it, we
Yeah.
can wrap it and keep it.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll wrap it up, and we might confront someone with it at some stage.
Scar asked Shajaya, because she rolled, because it looked like she knew what she was talking about. Does it look like it was meant to melt, and it just didn't?
Looks to me like it's that I think it's not meant to melt. It looks like it's been conjured to look like ice.
Literally
So
conjured.
I think there is something about it that we should investigate, and we should definitely take it with us.
Right.
Okay, so I can't
Should we talk
remember who took it into their backpack, but feel free to add that to your inventory
Oh,
on D&D Beyond.
I'll do it. I'll have it. I've been
Not
holding.
I.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
On the street that we're in, are there any like local street vendors or people standing on the street that look like they may have been there the night before?
Well, it's hard to know if they were
Yeah.
there the night before.
Well,
But there's the people don't spend a lot of time on the streets.
Right.
So you see
okay.
people dashing between houses. Keep in mind, I know we're all New Zealanders here, so we speak Celsius, so 30 degrees below. Right, that's damn cold. Interestingly, as a complete aside, my wife grew up in Winnipeg in Canada, and their winters are literally 30, 40 below.
Nice.
I've experienced 15 degrees below, and it was inhuman.
That's
Yep.
yeah.
Minus 15 was the coldest I've ever felt.
Oh, yep. So she literally
It's
grew up
minus
in those
30.
conditions. So I don't understand it myself why you'd want to live there. But it's quite a big city. It's Winnipeg in Canada. But anyway,
Alright.
but bloody cold is the point I'm getting at. So you don't see a lot of people on the street generally. They're just dashing between houses, running errands that way.
Should we talk to his missus then?
Yeah, let's go knock on the door.
Alright.
Okay, so you go knock on the door.
Knock.
And the door swings open, and you see a female dwarf there. Like all dwarfs, she's got a fantastic flowing yellowish beard flowing down her front. And she says, yes, what can I help you with, friends? What's going on?
Oh, what was her name again? Did we get her name?
No, I don't think so. Try to
Never
read.
asked. Well, Tarvin steps forward and goes, "Ma'am, we're looking into your husband's murder. We're wondering if you could answer some questions for us."
And instantly, her eyes start to well up, and she says, "Oh, no, that's dangerous," because she knows her tears will freeze instantly on her. Come inside.
Lovely.
And she sits you down and says, "Oh, it's not often I get visitors. Can I fix you something? Maybe some knucklehead trout. I have some. I could put something together for you."
Well, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Okay, and she dashes into the kitchen. Just as kind of a two-room place, the main area and the cooking/dining room area. And she comes back a few moments later with plates for all of you. And on the plate is a fish called a knucklehead trout. Now, something interesting about the trout is what you had the night before, Scar and Cal and probably everybody else, was knucklehead trout. The meal you had before that was knucklehead trout. The breakfast you had was knucklehead trout. So this particular trout is pretty much the only thing you can eat. Like fresh vegetables, fruit, just forget about it. No chance. Potatoes, things like that are just dying in the soil. They can't grow crops. And the only other thing which would be delicacy was if somebody managed to bring down an elk or a moose or something like that. So knucklehead trout is what you eat because that's pretty much all you can eat. So she brings you out a plate with knucklehead trout on it, slightly grilled but not much else. She says, "Oh, eat up. Apologize, it's only knucklehead trout. Imagine you've had this before, but trying times."
Thank you very much for your generosity.
Oh, you're most welcome,
without-
miss. And I gotta say, it's not very often I get visited by a high elf. So, pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lady.
You too, ma'am.
My name is Badalin, by the way. Nice to meet you all.
Lovely to meet you, and I've had some knucklehead trout in my time, but this is good knucklehead trout.
Make me a deception check. It's not.
Oh, okay.
I saw that one coming.
6. This is good. Knucklehead trout. Trout.
It's okay. I appreciate your kind words, but well, it's just grilled trout. It's fine.
I'll just be outside.
What? Oh dear. Come inside out of the cold. And you see as you vomit, your vomit instantly forms outside her door, and then there's a solid chunk of vomit at her front door.
Well, how about that? I didn't know I had carrots this morning, but looks like I did.
Even with a diet of knucklehead trout for months, you still find carrots in your vomit. Besides carrots. You mentioned something about you looking into Thoradin's death? Any questions? I'm happy to answer. It's obviously been a bit of a strain. He was a right rascal, but he did provide for me. We weren't unfortunately blessed with children, but he did provide for me. He's a rough diamond, I think is the expression.
Did your husband, Thoradin, do you have any enemies? Anyone that would want him dead?
Oh, not as such, no. I mean, he did do some things to provide for me that weren't strictly above board, and sometimes he got on the wrong side of people, but he'd spend a couple of days in the town hall and the cells we've got down there. But in the morning, he'd buy the person a beer, and they'd all be on good terms again. So, well, everybody liked the little rascal, but I can't think of anybody who'd want him dead.
Did your husband ever talk about Frostmaiden and sacrifices?
To curse her.
What's the name?
Excuse me,
specific
lady.
Sorry.
Yeah, Shajar.
I'm just wondering, could you please share with us what happened on the night that he died, with you in your house?
Oh, of course. Well, they started like any other day. I was preparing food and doing things as best I can. Thoradin went out. I don't know what he gets up to exactly, and I don't want to ask, because he does provide. He went around doing one of his wheelings and dealings. I can't tell you who he talks to because I don't ask. But he did come back, and he seemed, he usually brings back a few silver pieces at the very least, and it was suspicious. He came back and he didn't have any silver pieces to provide for food and so on. So the only thing unusual about that day is he left to do one of his wheeling and dealing, but he come back broke, which is very unusual for him. So beyond that, miss, once again, it's an honor to have a high elf amongst us. That's all I can tell you. The only slight odd thing is he came back broke, which is very unlike Thoradin.
Thank you.
Had Thoradin attended the sacrifice?
Oh, every day. Well, every time it happened. I mean, quite frankly, they lock up the gates, let in people, because, if I was a guard, I'd let in people and let them put their names in the hat. It reduces my chances of being sacrificed. But no one left. I mean, I was there that night as well. I mean, poor old Craig got sacrificed, and I can tell you that he was there. Thoradin was there.
I've got a couple of questions. Does the name Pacific Culture mean anything to you?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Scar leans in, looks at her closely, and goes, "Did your husband keep any notes, like journals or anything like that?"
With it, she kind of blushes a little bit. Thoradin was many things, but he couldn't read or write, so no journal.
Right.
Do you
Do you
remember if
Torga Ice Vein came through
recently?
I think we're getting a bit of echo from you again, Leah. Did you get those headphones?
I did. I just moving my computer to the plug it in. I won't be a sec.
Okay, maybe you're got unplugged. So what was the question again, sorry?
Did she know Torga Ice?
Torga Ice Vein?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Torga Ice Vein comes every 4 weeks or so. She's selling her wares, her, swords that have seen better days, pots and pans, and occasionally I'll purchase stuff from her, but she only stays any place only a few days. So everybody knows Torga.
You have no idea why he might come back with no money.
Maybe one of his wheelings and dealings went wrong. I couldn't say.
Do we trust her? Like, is she trustworthy?
Well, this is where you can make me an insight check and answer that question.
Okay. Like,
Insight.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like just a skill like deception.
So we all do that?
So we all, like, I'm,
Like to
like,
see
she
what's-
knows nothing.
Yeah, Sharjah, you trust her completely, as does Claw, Oscar.
She seems legit. She seems totally, completely legit.
Malamak and Cal. I mean, you all get the same reading, but for different reasons. She's just a grieving widow. She's sharing with you as much as she can, because the more she can share with you, the better chance of her finding her husband's killer.
And she doesn't know where he goes at all. Okay.
No.
No.
Is it? Can we show her the ice shard?
I'd advise not to.
Yeah, I don't think it would help because, yeah, I think it's beyond what she knows. She sort of seems like she's just at home
Doesn't
reaping the
know.
rewards,
Yeah.
asking no questions, ask me no questions, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Of it all. Does your husband have a place where he likes to store things? A cabinet or a floorboard where he puts things to keep for keepsafes?
Well, not that I know of. I mean, feel free to have a look around, but not that I know of.
Yes, please.
Can we have a look? And can we have a look in your room? I want to check out the floorboard, see if there's a loose floorboard here or there.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
Just Malamak. Let's see how charismatic he is.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Just put everything back where you found it, please.
If there's no loose floorboards, nothing will be moved. And so, yeah, I'd like to check around for that. So what's that? Is that investigation, is it, as well?
Yeah. Feel free, those who do investigation, but it's up to you. But she comes up to Sharjah, and she wants to have a word with you while these people are searching.
Okay, so I'll do that way.
Make your investigation checks, and I'll get back to you about what you find. So,
Yeah.
So, what's your name, miss?
Sharjah Silverburst. Nice to meet you.
Once again, it's an honor to have a high elf in my home. This has never happened before. And God bless you, Cal. You can't find shit. And he says,
Yes.
well, now that Thoradin's gone, times are tough, and I can't even buy the simplest of food now. My gold, silver, copper, they're all gone. And she looks you in the eye. No gold or silver, miss, to feed myself.
Are you asking if we have some spare gold or silver?
What? And she looks around as the rest of the guys are searching and says, oh, it's very embarrassing, miss, but yes.
So, should I do check that she's telling the truth?
Sure.
Or are we certain? We're absolutely certain that she's telling the truth?
Make me an insight check.
Okay.
She's desperate. She's desperate and she's hungry. And from what you know,
Okay.
Thoradin was her provider. And not only that, the last time he came back with no silver. So she is desperate. She really needs some type of money to keep her going.
Okay, I'm looking for how much. I know I don't have much gold. Do I have any? I'm just trying to find my
I think.
inventory.
So you see their currency, 10 gold pieces. Now I will point
Yes.
out a couple of things. A gold piece would be an extremely generous gift.
Okay.
So the conversion rate, if you click on 10 gold pieces, like in your currency, it'll bring up a little breakdown of currency.
Ah, okay.
Okay. And ignore Electrum, it's the stupidest currency in the game. But basically 10 silver equals 1 gold, and 10 copper equals 1
Okay.
silver.
Okay. Well, I do have some rations that I could share with her, but then if we go on our journey to look for the stolen ingots, we'll have one less
Something you would know
survival.
as a druid
Yeah.
is you have this spell available to you called Goodberry. And when you cast it, you get, I think it's 10 berries. And one berry does 2 things. One thing, it restores 1 hit point. And the second thing is it's enough calories to sustain somebody for a day. So in other words, if you cast Goodberry, you could feed your entire party with a simple berry, no problem. And not only that, it heals 1 hit point as well. So you're not worried about food on your journey.
Okay. Well, so I can either give her some berries or offer her the rations. I'd rather offer her the berry. I'm just looking at my spells and I can't see that berry
I'm
option.
going to pretend that you had it anyway.
Okay.
Because we just chose some random one, but
And I'll just say to her that I can offer you some berries. That's unfortunately that's all that we have, all that I have.
Berries won't go very far, miss. What are you talking about?
They can just tide you over until you can get yourself into a better position. See, I'm not really happy about giving her our rations, my rations, because we can use them.
Okay, so you cast this spell, Goodberry, and 10 or so berries pop into your hand.
Oh, look at that.
And I saw that fancy magic you did, miss. Are these? What am I supposed to do with these? Should I just try one?
Yes, and you'll find that they're enchanted and that they can last you for several days. You won't need to worry for a long time about finding food while you're grieving for your husband.
And she takes the berry and said, "Oh, by the gods, that's the best berry I've ever had in my entire life. That is fantastic. Oh, thank you, miss. Thank you. This is And you've produced 10 of these berries. I think it's 10. Yeah, 10 berries. So there you go. And she's very, very thankful. Okay,
Well, you're very welcome.
Oh, thank you, miss. It's a pleasure meeting you. And I think at this stage, Cal, you need to roll up a new character. You're rolling so many ones and you wander out of the campaign and go do something completely different.
I just feel that investigation isn't really my strength. I'm all about guarding and resisting being vile.
You have a thorough look around the place. Some of you don't find anything. You do find some loose floorboards and look underneath it for journals and devotions to the Ice Queen or something like that, but you find nothing. Nothing of note, even with a 21. So you tear a house apart, put it back together. No further clues are forthcoming.
Okay.
Maybe we could ask. Well, sorry. Tarvin just asked the wife one more question before we go. You mentioned that was it Thoradin had no enemies, but what about friends? Or did he work with anyone?
Ooh.
An apprentice, maybe?
No apprentice, but you know, most people around here know Thoradin. I mean, we're the biggest of the village, but you know, 1,000 of us here. Most people knew him, but couldn't put you to any friend in particular.
Right.
I think it's us for a bit, maybe.
I think we're about a dead end here.
I think we're at a dead end.
Seems like it.
We can still go and talk to the a guardsman friend.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, let's
and
talk
if I
to your
know
guard
him,
mate.
He'll either be on duty or he'll be drunk in a tavern. What do you reckon, Scar? Where would he be this time of day?
Oh, what is the time of day?
2, 3 o'clock
Malcolm?
now? 3 o'clock?
If I know Bottom, he'll be playing dice somewhere in a tavern. When he's supposed to be on duty.
So your best guess would be the North Look. That's the only noticeable stable of note, tavern of note. So you head back to the North Look.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
On the way out, Gar says to the dwarf lady, I accidentally broke one of your floorboards. Here's 3 silver pieces. And if you need something extra to eat, go to the House of the Morning Lord and Mishan will see you alright. Right?
Oh, thank you, sir. Blessings of the gods be upon you.
Right, I hope it's enough to fix it.
Okay. As you leave...
Oh, also, if she does remember something, make sure to see if she can get a hold of any of our lot.
Of course, my dear. Of course.
Maybe talk to Mishan.
Will do.
Right.
Scar, can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, this is no. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, almost an 18.
Oh.
A mighty 5.
How is that? Oh, because of the dice roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you leave her place and you're feeling all confident. You've come things. You've paid her respect. You're feeling pretty proud about yourself. You forget about the vomit that's frozen at her front step, and you stand on it and fall right on your butt in front of everybody.
Oh, not again. Who left that vomit there? Oh, yeah, that thing.
But you
Ouch.
get yourself up. Maybe some dogs will find it later on. Not that there's any dogs around. But anyway, you go back to the North Look Tavern. And can I have Cal and Scar make me perception checks, please?
Right.
Two people who know women.
There we go.
There we go.
So you look around and you do see Boomin in the corner of this establishment. And you notice he's avoiding your eyes. He's seen you come in and he's kind of got his back to you. But both Cal and Scar, you see him and he should be on duty.
Boomin'. What have we here?
Oh, good afternoon, sir.
I thought somebody's supposed to be on duty.
I just done my lunch break.
So who's at the wall then?
I'll be there in just a minute. I mean, we're close to the north gate. I just go and check every now and then. It's all clear, sir.
I'll tell you what, we can forget this ever happened if you can tell us. If you can be reminded of, if you can tell us of anything that happened on the night that our mate got murdered.
Oh, Tarvin?
That's the bugger.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, had a meeting with Speaker Danshay. I was heading off to my duty patrolling the East Gate. And as we all know, it's a shit shift. I mean, standing out there on the walls is no shelter provided. And I just came across the body of Thoradin in the alleyway there. Some nasty wound to his heart. I looked around, tried to spot any persons who were doing it. I gave it a thorough investigation, and I found nothing more to report than the fact that there was a dead dwarf there.
No, you heard no screams, no nothing like that?
No screams, no nothing like that. But I did do a very thorough investigation of the crime scene and found nothing.
Had you been drinking?
Can I
that
just... I'm sorry.
night? My bad.
Leah?
Well, yes, had you been drinking that night? And also, were you on duty all night without taking a break to go to the pub?
No, not drinking. I never drink while I'm on duty. And
That's lovely, that is.
you don't even need an insight check to see if he's lying. He's literally drinking and he's saying he's on duty. So yeah, I was clear-headed, sober as the day is long, and I investigated it, and I was just on my watch to the East Gate. So I did my duty.
You just found him. How did you come across his body? Can you tell us?
Just spotted him in the alleyway there. My sharp eyes. Nothing gets past me, miss.
You spotted him in the alleyway from your guard position.
Yeah, I
The
was. No, I spoke to Professor Shea, get my schedules from her, made my way east to the East Gate, and that's where I spotted poor old Thoradin. As I said, very thorough investigation. Nothing was found.
Tarvin steps forward. A thorough investigation, you say?
Yeah,
Did you not notice any footprints leading away from the body?
not a thing.
Well. Any other thoughts?
Well, only that I should be getting back to duty at the North Gate, sir.
Well, that goes without saying.
And he gets up and...
So
Yep.
if we asked the boss if he was on duty at that place, would she say yes? That night, rather.
Speaker Danshay.
Yes.
Could we ask Scar that? Because he knew what he should be
yes.
doing. Maybe Scar knows.
Scar does
Scar,
know,
do
and
you-
Buman was on duty.
Okay.
Malumark stands up on a table and he shouts out to this crowded Northlook. Thoradin is dead. He's been murdered. Someone here must know something. If anyone here knows what that rascal was up to, can provide us anything, it might be you next. A month away, we're trying to save lives. Someone, anyone, come and see us at this table over here. And he sits down at a table.
Love it. Make me an intimidation check.
Intimidation. I think I get some form of half-orc advantage on intimidation. Some sort of weird thing as well. But I'll make it 1. Cool. Or it might just be that I get proficiency in it. Sorry. That might just be it. Cool.
Check. Yeah.
Oh.
For racial trait menacing, you get proficiency in intimidation.
All right, and that's it. That's all I get then.
That
And everyone
gives you
puts it
advantage, doesn't it?
strangely.
Does that give
No,
you
it doesn't
advantage
give
to
me
roll again? Oh,
No,
pants.
No,
This is all he gets from it.
yeah, that's all I get. And so, everyone's
Well,
like,
it
"Who's that crazy,
seems to chill
who's that
down me,
crazy
mate."
half-orc?"
So it gives him a +2 to the roll at this level. As he
Yeah.
advances, it'll get better and better. But at the moment, it's
Yeah.
just a +2.
So
And everybody
that- yeah.
looks around at your impassioned speech. And they say, "Oh, it's a shame what happened to Thoradin, but we got bigger problems. Endless winter, there's no food on my table. There's nothing to feed my children. So Thoradin, sad to see him go, but I got bigger problems, friend." And then
And
the
he-
tavern just goes back to their selves.
Malamak puts his hood on and just sort of sulks at the table. Not nearly as intimidatory as he thought he would be.
Well, it's a good idea.
Oh,
but-
mate, I saw a couple of the kids freaking out in the corner over there.
Well, that's all, sir. Mr. Scar, can I get back to my duties?
Sure.
Okay, and he heads back to the relatively short walk to the north gate.
Wow. Should we call it a day then?
Tarvin just asked Scar a question. Do guards always patrol alone?
Yes.
Pretty thin these days on the ground.
I would like to suggest an idea to the group.
Lovely.
What if we do exactly the same thing that Malamuk just did with the best voice and the most passion, but we say that we've got the potential to end the ice, endless winter, and reward people for information with the gold pieces that we're going to get from the solving the going and finding the ingots as well. We'll come back and we'll reward people for their honesty.
I do like the intent, but humans are not like elves. If we don't get our way very soon, they will turn, and they will turn quickly, and it's not a pretty sight.
It's just that we're not getting anywhere.
Maybe we can sit on it for now. It's just a thought. And tomorrow, head out to see what we can do about these ingots.
Think so.
I'm impatient. I'm the only female.
I know about you, elves. Thought you were very patient.
Well, there
That-
are 2 other murders in other towns.
yeah.
I mean, you do know that the Torga's traveling merchant cart goes from town to town. If you found the cart, that could work.
Right. Maybe we just need to find out which gate she left through. On the way
What's
out of
the
town.
remind me again what the relationship between Torga and the what's his name is? The murderer dude?
Epic.
Torga,
Yeah.
Torga is the merchant who travels from town to town with her cart, selling junk that's widely considered to be stolen, but people don't care. So she's been
right.
doing that for a while, and recently she's hired a bodyguard, and the bodyguard's name is Sifik Culture.
Ah, that's right. I wonder if
He's an
anybody here knows
interesting
where she was
fellow.
going.
You
Definitely.
you ask around, and she was seen leaving through the east gate. So
That's
she
where
got-
we're going.
So she could have gone to East Haven, she could have gone to Kira Dinaval, Kira Connig, Goodmead, Dugansol, or she could have doubled round and gone
All
that
sorts.
way. But you do know that she went out the east gate, so any one of those.
And-
is-
Group huddle. I reckon we have 2 very clear paths here. We can either follow her east, or we can go to get to the Yeti sighting and get that out the way first, and get some cash under us in our hands. which might better equip us for the investigation.
I agree with you, and that we know where the Yeti is, but we're unsure of where Torg is. We have a feeling, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think
I like that
we go
idea.
for the Yeti. So we have shall we have a sleep and go out in the morning?
Good idea.
Where are we going to sleep? In the streets?
You're welcome to the house of the Morning Lord, which is slightly to the east. I have a little bit of sway there, let's say.
Oh, I wouldn't turn down a free house.
It's warm enough. It's nothing of abundance as such.
Well, if you'll have me under your roof, I'll sleep there the night.
You've proven a fine friend so far. So let's go for it, yeah.
Yes.
All right. There's only milk there if you want to grab some ale on the way out.
Okay, does everybody join Scar at the House of the Morning Lord?
Yes, Tarvin comes
Yes.
along.
I think so. Stay
Yes,
stick
definitely.
together.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so you head over the House of the Morning Lord. Scar enters as if he's been here before, and apparently he does hold some sway here. And the House of the Morning Lord, very, very peaceful in here. It's a modest converted house, like it's obviously been used as a normal house before, but it's been converted as into a place where people come to worship the Morning Lord, sometimes known as Lathander as well. And as you enter, you see a retired human adventurer. Her name is Mishan, and she's dressed in priestly robes. She's got very dark skin, deep brown eyes, and she's quite thin. And you see some other people around the House of the Morning Lord. I mean, this place is most definitely a place of worship for the Morning Lord and for Lathander, kind of almost the same deity. But you see some people there who are very sick, very thin. And you see this very nice elderly gentleman going around. Oh, sorry, elderly female going around and helping these people as best she can. And she says, Oscar, pleasure to see you as always. Welcome home. Cal, nice to see you too. Blessings of Lathander be upon you all.
Thanks, Misha. Anybody need some hands laid on?
Yes, Tarvin steps forward actually. It has a question for the old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Does she know anything about slards, red slards?
Oh, red slides. Roll me just a plain old D20 if you'd be so kind.
How do I do just a plain old one? Sorry.
At the bottom left of your D&D Beyond screen, you'll see a red circle that looks like a D20. Click on that, and then click on a D20.
Gotcha.
Oh, a red slide. Well, I can't think of anything. Is there anything I can help you with? I mean, I don't know anything about slides, sorry.
Well, Tarvin looks round nervously at his companions and then leans in a little close to the old woman and says, "What if I told you I had something inside me?"
What, you mean this slide creature you talk about?
Tarvin says nothing and just nods.
Well, I don't know much about slides, but I can tell you having a creature inside of you is not good. I'm at a loss. I mean, I'm a simple healer, a simple worshipper of Lathander. I wouldn't have a clue how to help you. I feel bad. I'm so sorry.
Does she have any restoration spells? Does she know?
I mean, I can try saying a quick prayer to Lathander and see if I could extract it somehow. I'm not hopeful, but I can try. Would you like me to try?
After a long pause, he thinks and then nods his compliance.
Okay, Mishan takes a deep breath, looks around, pointedly looks at Scar and Cal in the eye, looking for approval. Like, do you nod back?
Yeah. What are we nodding for? I don't know what I heard.
Do we know what slards are?
Everybody make me people proficient in nature can make me a nature check.
Oh, cool.
Is that including me?
Oh yeah, sure. You have a slide buried in your chest, you can. Malamak, you don't know. Tarvin,
Excuse my language. Excuse me.
don't know. I know.
I haven't got that.
Oh, well.
Tarvin, you do know a little bit about slides, just a tiny bit. You with your 12 nature check. What you know about slides is they're lizard-type creatures. They're large creatures as well, like about the size of a horse. But you're not sure. You're not sure how they would reproduce. But it doesn't take any type of check to know that if this person has some type of slide tadpole or something inside of him, it's bad. So that's what you get with the 12.
Can I? Oh no, I can't heal him. I've just got heal spells.
Well, Tarvin looks around at the group and says, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag now.
Okay.
All the slides inside the bag, one or the other.
The slides in the bag.
Oh, was that funny? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean. Oh, I don't know sometimes.
Will you die? Can you die from this?
I don't know. I think so.
Well, best we try and sort something out then.
Am I able to do a medicine check to see if how close he is to death or how
Sure.
how terrible it is?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. 15.
Okay, let me just check my notes here for just a second.
So
Sorry, just give me a second. I do have something about this. What did you get for your nature? A 15? So your question
I got a
is...
15 for medicine. For medicine, not for nature. It was like just how ill he looks, how close to death he is, that sort of
Okay.
thing. Sort of.
Okay, so you have a close look at him, and it's weird. You feel his chest, and you feel a bump there that has no rightful places to be there.
Uh-oh.
I'm not seeing this, and sorry, just a sec. So you try and ascertain, and it's a bump for sure. It's a concern, and with a 15 medicine check, you're not entirely sure. It could take a month, somewhere between a month and 2 months. So 4 to 8 weeks.
Cool.
This thing's coming out one way or the other.
I tell him that.
Oh, you tell me? Yep.
Yeah, I tell him that.
Tarvin looks at Malamak and says, none of you owe me anything. I'm not asking you to help me. I've been searching the countryside for weeks now after my tribe has exiled me because of this thing inside me. I'm looking for a cure, but there might not be one.
My
Wow.
offer remains. Maybe I can pray for you, and maybe Lathander will bless you. I mean, Lathander does bring light into dark places. Would you mind if I laid my hands on you and did a quick prayer?
She's pretty good at this. You should give it a crack.
Better crack.
Like, I guess I don't have a choice. This is the best offer I've had in weeks. Yes, please.
Okay, and she reaches and she places her hand in her cheek, and she starts praying and praying, and she says like, Lathander, in these dark times, we know you are the person who brings light to the dark places, and I bring this person before you now. They've been cursed by this infection. Not only cursed by this endless winter, but we ask you to bring light to this dark places. And you feel the healing spirit of Mishan flow into you.
Hold ya.
And it feels good. You feel the healing light. But then a hand pulls back and the bump on your chest remains.
Bugger.
No surprises there.
I'm sorry, friend. This is beyond my powers of Lathander. Maybe seek out a cleric greater power than my own. Unfortunately, I know your next question. I do not know one. I know I've not left Bryn Shander for years. My work here keeps me busy. And once again, you see these very sick people around the house of the Morning Lord. So I will pray for you, friend.
And Tarvin turns to the rest of the group and says, so, do you mind if I tag along while I search? Will you have me as a traveling companion, knowing what you know now?
Gus, there's, well, look around. There's lots of sick people in your world. You're not the only one, so... Yeah, man.
Do know that this could very well be a danger to you too.
Yeah.
We can defend ourselves.
We're all in it. We're all in this now. Together.
It would make sense.
Are you saying that this disease, whatever you've got, can spread?
I don't know enough. I just know that it has the potential for danger, yes.
Do any of the druids, I know druids can sometimes have powerful healing magic from what I've heard. Maybe they know of a powerful druid who might be able to help you out.
The druids do not.
Yeah. I turn and look at the camera. And I'm not at that level yet, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
Do we have a nap?
yeah, I can provide beds and some simple food, but you know what we eat here, right, Scar?
Yeah. Is it alright for my mate to stay?
Of course. Any friends?
This
of
is
yours?
Sharj. This is, you met Tarvin. This is Mel. And, and that's, well, you know Cal. We're old school now. There's this other kid called Twitch. I don't know what he's up to.
That's an excellent question. Yes. Well, I'll continue to attend to these people. You know where the food is.
Scar
Scar?
turns on the others and just go and says to them, "You're more than welcome to stay, but if anybody says anything about me slipping over on puke, I will kick you out personally."
Malamak laughs heartily, but doesn't say a word.
Okay, so we can say, Scar, you go and get them all a serving of Knucklehead Trout. This one's just boiled, but it's, once again, there's no side dishes, there's no side of potatoes or greens. It's just literally a boiled fish.
Rise, everyone.
And you show them beddings, give them beddings. Fortunately, there's quite a bit of bedding around here with all the sick people that come through here, so it's easy enough for everybody to accommodate. And you all rest through the night, unless anybody has anything else they want to say or roleplay. We can fast forward to the next morning.
Okay. Let's do that.
Sleep time.
From my point of view. Yep.
Okay, morning comes, and Scar, I assume being the gracious host, gives you another delicious serving of knucklehead trout from the night before, the leftovers, more boiled fish.
And tea.
And
Tea in the morning too.
Tea in the morning, good cuppa. Yeah, and the morning is yours. What would the as yet unnamed adventuring group like to do?
I'm just gonna say I'll just have the tea, thank you.
Can you hook us up with
You're not the first to say that.
One session in, and you're already tired of knucklehead trout.
Shall we venture forth, put on our snowshoes while the day, even though it's night, is young?
Yeah, good idea. Does anybody need any more provisions or anything like that before
The
we?
question
Well,
is
you
about
know-
how much food we need.
I am from this area. I have survival skills, and if there's food out there, I can provide for all of
That's
us.
good to know. Just let me check my inventory, he said, turning to camera.
Damn that fourth wall.
Well, I've got one ration.
I-
Also, I've got
I've
some
got one.
rations,
Mm.
but I can. If there's food out there in those hills, I can provide.
I've got a day's rations, so I'll see what Lathander can, what we can find in the cupboards.
I've got 10 rations. Right, we should be fine.
We'll be fine. She's got.
Let's go.
Sharjay, you've got those good berries. Is that canon?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
she,
yeah.
Is Sharjay able to
Yes,
give
I
us a
still-
berry?
Yes,
They did
you
look
can
good.
do that.
Win
Yeah,
and
so
crop
we'll be
situation.
fine. Yeah,
let's,
we'll be fine.
let's leave. Let's make tracks while the day is
Sun
young.
doesn't shine.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Well, the day can still be young.
Shajaya, do you cast Goodberry?
Yes, I'm just I haven't added it. So can I? You added it for me.
I did.
Well, you were going to add.
I did.
You said it was something I could do.
Yeah.
But because I didn't add it to myself.
Well, refresh,
yes, I will.
refresh your page, because
Oh, okay.
I did add it and might not have updated.
Oh, okay.
And if you go to your spells tab,
Yes.
you'll see Goodberry there as a first level spell.
I can definitely do it. Sorry, it's a bit slow
That's right.
out in the country. They're on mobile data out here.
Oh, okay.
Great, isn't it? Okay, spells. It's not there at the moment.
Maybe scroll.
Oh
down a
yes,
bit.
it is. Excuse me, it is. So do I just cast it? There we go. I've done it.
Yep. So you clicking on the word. Did you click on the word cast?
Yes, I did.
That might be taking a while. That was me casting it. I'm not sure. Anyway, the important thing is, you notice how your slots are just above where it says first level. You've used one first level slot.
Okay.
Okay, so you can cast one more spell from that list. But regardless,
Okay.
yeah, Shajai casts Goodberry, and all these berries pop, 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 in her hand. Do you hand one to everybody?
Yes, everyone in the group.
Okay, so this will do two things. You can have it at any time. It'll sustain you for the day, but it's also very useful for healing. If you see one of your people fall down, you can just pop a good berry into their mouth and they'll come back with 1 hit point. So very useful
okay.
for that. So a great spell, and it kind of spreads out the healing almost. Okay,
Okay, that's
So-
good to know.
yep. And where would you like to go? You could head east toward East Haven. You could check out where the Yeti took the iron ingots. What would you like to do?
Yes.
We do the Yeti.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so for the first time for this adventure, you strap on your snowshoes and you head out into the winter and start searching for the sleds. Snow boots on, start walking. The wind starts picking up, and you start making your way across the frozen tundra. People on the guard post look at you and they shake your head as you're wandering out. Not only are you out in this dreadful weather, you're out avoiding these paths as well, searching for this Yeti. Now, one of the things all characters have is something called a passive perception. Now, you'll see that in your senses, kind of underneath your saving throw. And what that means is how good you are at noticing things without really noticing things. And I can tell you that as you're walking, something's going to happen on the journey to the Yeti. And some of you are going to notice it, and some of you are not. Now, the people who are going to notice it is Malamak and Shajire, and the reason they're going to notice it is their passive perception is 15. So they're reasonably good at spotting things even when they're not meant to be spotting things. So what happens? Well, actually, first, before we do that, let's sort out a marching order. And we'll do that by shuffling our characters around here. So you're heading east, so you're heading in this direction. So who's leading the way?
Shall I
I've
come
got-
with
up front.
Yeah. I've got survival, so I'm pretty good in these situations, and dark vision as well, if that counts for the nighttime.
whoever
I
tracker
also
amongst
have
us?
5 for those.
So is it
So I'll have
You want
I go
Scar up?
behind you, like that, so that I'm near the front.
Okay, and you're happy.
Is there a-
with your
is there a,
Tarvin?
Is there a
Got
tracker
that
amongst
vision.
Sure,
us?
yeah. I'll ring up the rear then.
Oh,
Let me reshuffle you guys. So the traveling order is this, right? With Scar
Is
leading
that-
the way.
Okay.
Or do you want Cal to be at one end or not? Because he's a muscle as well.
just in case we get ambushed or something.
That's right. I'm pretty good in the nature. Maybe not. It just comes down to a dice roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. How about that?
Okay.
So that we've got a nice little heavy sandwich with all the squishy people in the middle.
Close. So I'm just looking at a different screen for reasons. So I can't see the order. So Scar is out front, followed by
Alamak.
Malamak, and after Malamak,
Tajir.
Shire.
Shajai.
Tajir. Oh,
Then Tarvin, then Cal.
Okay, Tarvin, and Cal. Okay. So you're wandering through the wilderness. I mean, like heading there. You do find a path of sorts that you can follow. And you're heading east along these hills. Now, who was it? Malamak and Shajai, you notice the sounds. You hear this cackling sound, almost like barking sounds, just hidden behind some bushes and stuff, and you notice it. So you are going to get to act before anybody else gets to act. Let's do this. Time for initiative, and we'll pick it up from there.
Okay.
all for initiative.
Roll for initiative. Yep.
You want all of us to do so?
Yep. Everybody. Yep.
Oh, all right.
Initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Scar got 6. Malamak got 14.
Aye.
Shajar got 6. Not good. Tarvin got 21.
Ooh.
Nice. What did Cal get? 11.
11.
Okay. So, as you're walking along, you hear this little barking type sounds, and let's drag you over to this battle map. And just yeah, you hear these barking sounds, and Shai-J, and who was it? Shai-J and
Malamak.
Malamak.
Yeah.
So you is what phrases you are not surprised by what's happening. Everybody else you're caught flat-footed, and you see a whole bunch of these creatures seeming wanting to ambush you. We're faced on them corpses! And if nothing else, I'm going to share this art. These are in fact Icewind kobolds. And no, they are not 3 kobolds in a trench coat, but such a cool piece of art. So, oh, so it was
That is awesome.
so I just missed 2 initiative. Kel's was 11,
11.
and Tarvin 21.
My initiative, 21, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so actually a kobold is the first to act. Beats everybody. And by the way, as a handy hint, if you take your mouse and go to the turn order and hover over the word Icewind Kobold, you notice that that particular kobold is now highlighted in yellow, indicating that it's turn. Okay, but it gets to go first, and this little Icewind going, "Get them, boys! We'll feast on their corpses! Let's kill them first!" And this little kobold, he's gonna swing over to here. Sees Scar and says, "Get the dragon board! Stop a true lizard!" And he hurls a javelin in Scar's direction. He rolls a 16. Does a 16 hit Scar?
That hits a shield.
Hits the shield, nice. So the thing just thunks off your shield, no damage done. And the kobold is sad. And he ducks
They
behind
were
the
being
shield.
attacked.
Now, Tarvin, I believe you're flat-footed. You don't know what's going on. This one is going to rush up to Scar. That's not how you kill one of these creatures! Kill one of them! And he takes a dagger and tries to drive it deep and underneath your armor. And he rolls a natural 1. Get him, boys! And he rushes up and slips on his butt. And so he's lying there in front of you. Attacks with your sword against this creature is advantage. But if you try and shoot him from a distance, it's disadvantage. So ups and downs. Malamak, you see these things just tear out from the things around you. Some of them are throwing javelins, some of them are trying to stab people. What does Malamak do?
He's going to move up alongside Scar, so up to here.
Yep.
And cast Shillelagh as a bonus action. And try
Nice.
and hit him. Shillelagh. And he's going to roll his dice. Oh, he gets it at advantage, doesn't he? So you right-click it. Roll with advantage because he's on the ground.
Yes. I think it's control or... I can't remember which
Yeah.
one it is, but...
Yeah, right-click it. Yeah.
Okay, so you roll with advantage. And
Oh yeah, 22.
so a 22 hit. So you infuse your quarterstaff? What
Yeah,
were you
my
attacking?
quarterstaff.
With Shillelagh, and he glows, and then you come down and whack the kobold with it. And roll damage.
I got 6 damage.
So as this kobold is on the ground, it's like, "Oh, damn right!" And he slips on his back, and you just charge up to your Shillelagh and just crack it down on his skull. Did a lot of damage to this kobold, but unfortunately he's still alive. Says, "Get this one, boys! Forget the dragon board! Get this one!" Cal, you're flat-footed as well. You don't get a chance to act.
Oh, am I not able to retreat as well after taking my action?
You
Or-
can, but this kobold will get an attack of opportunity against you. It'll try and strike at you with
Even
a
though he's...
dagger. It will be
Oh,
at
no, then I'll stay
disadvantage. It will be at disadvantage.
No, I'll stay there.
Okay, cool. So this kobold, get this one, boys! And he is going to take advantage of pack tactics because he has an ally, which he's not incapacitated. So this creature on the ground starts swinging around at your legs, kind of doing like a leg sweep, trying to put you off balance. And this kobold is going to take advantage of that and attack you with his dagger at advantage, rolling a 21 to hit, which I assume will hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And does 4 points of piercing damage. As this guy's mucking around on your feet trying to throw you off balance, he gets his dagger and dip it deep into your ribcage.
Oh yeah.
And now this one is gonna swing around here. Ooh! High elf! Let's get the high elf! And throws its javelin at Shajaya. And rolls a natural 1 as well. I'm going to say he threw it off balance, doesn't know what he was doing, and he nicks his finger as the javelin falls right in front of him. He takes 1 point of damage. He grabs his hand and sucks the blood off. Damn it! But he does go behind this thing and gets a little bit of cover from that. And this kobold is going to do the same thing. Throw a javelin at Shajaya. Oops, that's the wrong button. This is the wrong button. And it rolls a 3. So the storming wind just catches the javelin and it goes completely off course. Shajaya, you are not off put. You get to do something. What would you like to do?
Well, all of these creatures are behind. Kobolds are behind things, aren't they?
Yeah.
So,
you can take
apart from
a
this
shot.
guy.
You can take a shot at these guys with your longbow if you wanted to, but they get a +5 bonus to their armor class. These are hard to hit.
What about the does it have to be an action? Not a spell. Not a spell.
No, you can cast a spell as an action. So something you could do, you could cast Entangle on one of them, which would stop them from moving. You could cast Ice Knife. Ice Knife is better in a group of creatures. Or you could cast Thorn Whip. I mean, what you could do is cast Thorn Whip on this guy, and if you hit him, he'll be dragged towards you and away from Malabar.
Yes, well, how do I know? Could you just remind me how to do the distance again?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's a
right click.
Compass. There's a compass-looking thing. The circle with
Yeah.
a line through it. And you drag
Got
and
it.
you can do this. There you go. Someone's planning a breath weapon. So you're well within reach for the Thorn Whip, for example. It's 30 feet and whips. And you're like...
That's what I'll do.
So you're going to do Thorn Whip.
Yeah, so I'll just...
So click on the +5 next to Thorn Whip. Oh, there you go. 23. Wow. So you cast Thorn Whip. Catches hold of this creature. And he gets dragged off the injured Malamak and back towards you. And roll damage for that as well. Oh, you did. Oh, no, you didn't. So click on the 1d6 next to the Thorn Whip, and that will roll damage.
Okay.
So you crack out the whip, grab it around here, and says, I wanted to kill that guy. I've been pretty outplayed, you do. Yeah, dragged him off him. You do, let's have a look. Other things you can do, the only thing you can do now is you can move. If you move away from this kobold, he might try and stab you in the back as you run away.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You don't have to.
And if I use I can't do another attack or another spell. That's it.
No.
Okay. Well. Oh my gosh. Then I'll have to move, won't I?
Sure. So feel
Can I?
free to move.
Can I just hit? How far am I allowed to move? Up here?
30 feet.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Then I'm gonna move up behind here.
You get to right here. So I can move you up there. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm facing them, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. So the kobold says, don't run away so quickly. And it swings out with its dagger, and unfortunately with your retreat it does hit. And it kind of hamstrings you a little bit and cuts you across the back of the leg. It's quite painful, and you take 6 points of piercing damage. As a weapon digs into you. Okay, so 6 points of piercing damage. Scar, what the hell's going on? Kobolds! What the hell's going on? You're not sure. But what you are sure about is these goblins are still going. And this one is going to throw the second javelin at Malamak. Does a 16 hit, Malamak?
Yes, it does.
Well, you can take 4 points of piercing damage as this thing digs deep into your flesh. You gotta go, boys! It goes back and ducks behind there. Tarvin, you can now act. The surprise is over.
I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm going to use my longbow on this kobold here.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that. Longbow.
So well within range of a longbow. 20 absolutely hits. Roll damage. For 11 points of damage. Against which one?
This one here.
Okay, so you bring up your arrow, pull back the bow, take a shot, and it deeply sinks into the kobold, and before it can even look around, it gets a longbow arrow straight through the eye and says, "Get this one, boys!" And then fuck, collapses to the floor. 11. Nice roll. Okay, do you stay where you are, Tarvin, or what do you do?
Good question, thank you. I am... I am just going to move down to here.
Okay, no problem. So getting a little bit of cover there, duck round to the side after picking off one of these things. This one on the ground says, and he stands up right next to Malamak. He sees how badly
An opportunity to take him.
No, not for standing up. To stand up, you use half of your movement. So we'll normally have 30 feet of movement. If it runs away, it'll only get 15. So no attack of opportunity for that. But the kobold says, "Are you ready to die, half-orc?" Does Malamak reply?
No, thank you.
Time to die. And he reaches up and goes right under the rib cage with his dagger, but he just completely misses it. Whoosh! Misses completely. Doesn't even connect with the armor.
Ooh. Oh.
You keep. Take this one out, boy. He's bleeding like a stick. Malamak. You all see Malamak is very severely injured. One hit
I know
will
he
take him
is. I know. So he's going to cast a Cure Wounds on himself.
down. Nice. Hey, do you want to roll for that?
I am. Did it come up?
Oh yes, 10.
There we go.
Points.
10
Wow.
hit. So I'm back to full health.
Yes, if the healing energy goes back into you. Yep, fantastic. So that's your action.
I'm not going to. Oh, do I run away? Nah, I'll stay here with Scar on my side.
I mean, you saw
I'll
what
stay
happened
here.
to Shajaya, right? She was
Yeah.
cut on her leg. So you stay there, but you get back the healing spirit energy fills you up. You're feeling a bit good and says, "Hey, that's not fair. No magic. It's an unwritten rule. Hell."
All right. So can I move over here?
Yep, absolutely.
And somebody can eat some battle axe. Go for it. Battle axe. Right.
Roll away.
That's 12.
12. You reach out and you swing your battle axe at this ice kobold, and you're about the same height, looking into each other's eyes, and you swing. It just whooshes over the top of him. The kobold goes down. You have to do better than that. What?
So Okay.
Okay, and then the kobold says, let's see. Let's how you take the cold kobold dagger. He tries to stab you right underneath the rib cage. But once again, this one also whooshes. And you just dodge out the way of it easily. Yeah, we're the opponent. That was that guy. This guy is gonna throw a javelin at Malamak. Throws it and just sails over top of your head, the wind catching it once again. Oh, God, stop it! Shajaya.
How am I too badly wounded to do anything?
Well, that's your decision.
Can cure my own wound.
Good.
Then I just don't. So it's my decision how badly wounded I am. Okay.
Oh no, I mean, I did hit you, and I did hit you for 6 points of damage, I think. Let me just check. So it's not your decision to decide. So you notice on your character sheet it says current hit points 10 of 10?
Yep.
That should be 4 of 10.
Okay.
So that's how badly injured you are. You don't get a choice, but it's your decision. Is that too risky? Is that... That's up to you.
Wait. Can I still... Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Scar yells out, heal yourself, elf.
That's what I'll do then. Cure wounds?
Yep. So this will use your remaining spell slot. So you can't cast any more first level spells. That's fine.
Did it do that? Has it done it?
Come all over the place here. I know, so on your sheet, you'll see the first level spell Cure Wounds. And you'll see next to that 1d8 plus 3. Click on the 1d8 plus 3.
Oh, sorry. Got it.
You got
So
5.
you get 5 hit points back. As the healing spell, Nature's Infusion. So always good to keep track of your hit points, Leah. So
Okay.
you were on 10, and you took 6 points of damage, which would take you to 4.
Yeah.
But then you got 5 back, so you should be on 9 hit points, right?
Does that change automatically? Or
Nope.
Oh, I do it.
You
I'm
do it.
sorry. I got it. Got it now.
Yeah, so just change that current hit points to 9.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm right on the edge of survival.
Yeah. Pretty healthy. So you cast that. That's great. Do you stay where you are?
Well, I think it's probably wise for me to move.
Okay, you can move up to 30 feet.
Behind here.
Sure. I mean, you will get some cover from these rocks, so you're good.
Yeah. Oh. How do I...
So click on the arrow on the top left of your screen. You're on the measurement
my
tool at the
goodness.
moment. And then there you go. There you go. No problem. Okay, but you infuse yourself with the healing spirit, feeling good. Scar, finally, Scar.
Yeah, he'll have a crack. Using his sword. Rolling away. But does not roll well.
Yeah, it just clangs into this guy's dagger and he just pushes it aside, no problem.
Just warm me up. And I might Melamuck's got this. I'm going to Scar will hopefully attempt to nullify one of the missiles coming in, and he'll take the attack of opportunity and move over to here.
Okay. So, the kobold is just... And he rolls a 17.
Bang.
Is that hit?
That misses. Probably hits my armor.
Yeah, so yeah, that's absolutely what it does. So it just hits off your armor and no effect. So you dodge the attack of opportunity. Miss the guy as well. Tarvin, back to you.
Okay, I'm now going to use I've got two swords. What do I have? Two short swords. Okay. So I'm going to run out behind this tree and attack this kobold with my swords. Two weapon fighting.
Okay.
How does that work? Do I roll twice?
Yes. Anybody can use two weapons as long as one of the weapons is light, like something like a short sword or a dagger. So anybody can do that. The only disadvantage is you don't get your modifiers on your second attack. So, like with a sword, you usually do the sword +3, something like that. Your second attack would just be no +3, it'd just be the dice roll. But I believe with two weapon fighting, I can check this. You basically get 2 attacks with the modifiers. So just make 2 attacks.
Okay, number 1. And number 2. Oh, not so good.
Both of them just clang off the animal whoosh over top of them.
Oh well.
The only catch with 2 weapon fighting, regardless, is it takes you a bonus action to do that, which really is no cost at all at first level, but it might come into play later.
Yeah.
And I'll just double check that 2 weapon fighting style. I think I've got it right.
Yeah.
We'll play with that this time anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll stay put though.
But regardless, you go with the 2 short swords, whoosh whoosh. Miss. Unfortunately, the Ice Spin Kobold is not impressed. And the guy comes up to Malamak, right? Why won't you die? And he tries to stick his dagger into Malamak, rolls a 6 damage. It just bounces off your armor, no problem whatsoever. Malamak.
What did you say to me? You said I was going to die? I say shillelagh!
I say shillelagh! That hits.
Yeah! Shillelagh this! Wah!
And you just absolutely caved the head of this Icewind Kobold in the head. His brain flatter out on the ground. He doesn't even get the chance for a death restored as Malamak just destroys this poor creature. Do you stay where you are, Malamak?
Let's have a look. Everyone's kind of keeping everyone busy, so maybe I might help out might come over to about here, I reckon. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I might stay here, I think, and that will give me the opportunity to help out my mate.
Sure, okay, so you cave in the head of this creature and move on your merry way. Kel, locked in a deadly battle with a kobold, what do you do?
Eat battle axe.
Eat battle axe. Battle
I
axe
think
is
that
eaten.
was a hit.
Roll damage.
So that was that natural 20. No.
Oh, that was a natural 20. It's a roll damage. And it'll probably calculate it for you automatically. Yeah. So notice it says, so you get 2d8s, and you rolled a 3 for 1, a 6 for your critical, and then another 2 on top of that.
Super.
So that is a natural 20. And that gets a yay, absolutely. And yeah, you just absolutely wreck this kobold. Why don't you explain to me, Cal, how a natural 20 destroys a kobold?
I would think that would be a cleft in 2. 2 half kobolds are remaining.
Nice. Very cool. So feel free to take your movement as well.
Okay.
Filling out my kobold horde. That Icewind kobold. 2. Okay, so cleaving that guy in 2, rushing over to help your good buddy Scar. This Icewind kobold. I'm gonna give him a perception. He doesn't see Jack. So he's not aware of how badly this is going. Dark now. Do you bleed dark as well? And he goes out to stab you and rolls a 19, which I believe will hit. And Tarvin takes 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh, okay. Roger that.
Shajaya. What would you
Okay,
like?
so I'm learning as I go along here, and I haven't got many useful weapons as such.
You have a longbow. Because you're an
Yes,
elf, you
I'm
naturally
going
get a longbow.
I'm going to move closer to this guy over here by Scar,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to use my longbow. But I'm going to move first. I can do that, can't I?
Yep. You can move up to 30 feet. You could do things
I'm
like
gonna move
move 10
close.
feet, then shoot, then move 20 feet. But yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm going to move closer. Why is it going down? I don't want to move there.
You're going too far.
Can I go back?
Yeah, of course.
I want to move right there in the middle of the path. Yep.
Right there.
I'm straight right in front of his face, and then I'm going to use my longbow.
Okay, so roll for
Can
your
I-
longbow. Click on the +4 next to your longbow there. And that's an absolute hit. Roll damage. So click on the 1d8 +2.
Wrong one. There we go.
Okay,
Oh.
so you pull back on your bow, looking at your buddy Shar and the elf, and you do shoot him in the square of the back, and he screams out in pain as thick green blood starts coursing down his back. That hurt him a lot, but he's not dead, and he's looking around and he's looking for a way to escape. It's not looking good for him, but Charge, well done. Get that arrow right in the small of its back. Ah! Ow! Ow! Flee, boys! Flee! We're grossly miscalculated! Get out! Get out! Scar.
Alright, I think you should stay forever.
And the long sword
Like that.
comes out, the long sword hits. Roll damage.
And that's a full
Oh,
20.
natural 20, yes, nice.
That's 20, yeah.
Oi!
Here we go.
This is gonna be messy. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, man. Why don't you
See you
explain
later.
to me how the creature had 2 hit points left and now you've given it 15
dear.
damage? How does Scar destroy this creature?
He punches the sword straight through his chest, grabs the arrow that's already in him, rips it out, and then holds it out to Shajaya. I think your arrow's over here.
Nice. And do you stay where you are, Scar?
No. Just in case, I will run with everything I've got over to Tarvin. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as far as I can move.
Okay, cool. So just destroying this kobold. The kobold sees a couple of things. He sees a...
Oh, he,
Oh, sorry, Tarvin.
There. Okay, well, I'm this close. I'm going to use the old double 2 swords again.
Okay, nice.
Let's do that. Oh, nice. That's the first one.
oh,
Oh, man, these natural 20s keep on coming.
Should I just roll damage for that one first, see if that kills him? Yeah. Oh, not very good.
Oh, that's the worst possible critical hit you could do.
Yep.
2 1s on the dice. But regardless, it does 6 points of damage. It does not kill him.
Yeah. But what about the second sword?
The second
Ah,
sword
shoot.
misses.
No!
But you do absolutely cleave the kobold into this one, and he's bleeding profusely. And he's looking around. Oh! Ah! Stop! Please! Anybody stop! He hears nothing. Ah! He starts running away. Malamak, you may take an attack of opportunity as he's turning in fear.
is it his turn though? I thought he was the one after Cal. The one
Yeah.
that was his turn. It's my
Ah.
turn before him.
Sorry, Tarvin had a turn.
Yeah, and then it's
oh,
that
sorry.
one.
You're right, it's
Yeah,
not
so
his
it was
turn.
my turn before his. Yeah. So I'm gonna walk around and shillelagh him.
Just sneak up behind.
1, 2, 3. Yoink.
If you do another natural 20, I'm going to cry.
Cool. Well, I like tears of DMs. It makes it pretty sweet. Where's my shillelagh? Here we go. Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
14.
Shillelagh does hit with a 14.
Oh, cool. Here we go. 5 damage.
5 damage is enough. And the kobold
Yes.
goes down. And all active enemies are defeated. So well
Well,
done.
that showed them.
Hoorah!
All right. We've done good.
Yeah.
We loot the corpses.
Yeah, can we
Let's
loot?
do it.
You can loot the corpses.
Eat them.
Eat them.
Elves have a strange diet.
Chaotic evil. Chaotic evil.
Better than Knucklehead Trout, though, surely.
Should we send a message to the boss lady saying, hey, there's a whole bunch of kobold corpses that we can eat.
That's what you find. 6 daggers, 12 javelins, and 2 silver pieces, and 14 copper pieces.
Okay. I'm just figuring out if I can use a javelin because I think I need a little bit of range. Where will I find out that information? My proficiencies or whatever. Features and traits? Not proficiencies, sorry.
So let me look up Malamak.
Yeah.
This features and traits should be it. Proficiencies.
That's the nature and perception. I'm just
it's over on the left. Underneath your
actions.
senses. No, not under actions. The bottom left
Oh,
of
yeah.
your screen it says proficiencies and languages.
Oh yeah, cool. So I can throw javelins. Can I take a couple of those?
Yeah,
Please?
just add them to your character sheet.
Oh, thank you very much.
What else is there? Just some gold amp.
Money. Shall we do a
Two silver.
group money and divvy it up when we get back, or?
Yes, there's someone that just want to take it for now.
Who wants to crunch those numbers?
How many gold coins are there?
There's 2 silver and 14 copper.
Oh, right. No gold.
That's 3 silver and 4 copper though. Can we just write it as that?
Sure. So 3
Yeah.
silver pieces, 4 copper pieces. Yep.
I don't know why I spoke up. Is someone else writing it? I'm trying to find how to add in a javelin.
Who's taking the money?
Malamak, I could add a javelin in for you. I'd explain how to do
Alright,
it if you
cool.
like. So go to your inventory.
Yeah.
Click
And
on
you go
manage
to-
inventory.
Yeah.
And then search
And
for
then you
javelin
add
in the
a-
filter.
Cool.
And then add.
And are they single use, or do you go and grab them again?
You can go grab them again.
I might take 2, so I've got 2 distance ones.
Sure.
Cool.
You can use them
Yep.
at not range as well. So did you successfully
cool.
manage to add the javelin to your inventory?
Absolutely have.
Okay, did
I'm
you
just going to
equip
add. Yeah, I'm adding it to my equipment, and then I'll equip it as well if I can. Where am I javelin? Yeah, I'll find it. I know what I'm doing now, I think. Cool.
So let me just double check.
No, I've got them. I've done it.
Oh, okay, cool. And
God,
it
we'll
comes
take
up
a
in-
dagger if everyone's cool with that.
Sure.
You going to take a dagger?
I've added 2 daggers to my backpack.
Oh, okay.
Can we all add a dagger? I've added a javelin.
I'll take a dagger then. Yeah. Tarvin will have a dagger, thank you.
I'm cool.
Okay, so I'm going to add a javelin for you, Leah. So that's in there.
Okay. Thank you.
And you do know how to use javelins, so that's useful. To your backpack. Javelin. And you took a dagger as well?
I didn't. I figured out how to add the how to add them via the filter search
okay,
option. Yeah.
Who's picked up the coins?
Nobody.
All right, well,
No.
We trust each other.
I'm the trustworthy guard. I'm adding the 3 silver and 4 copper to my
So
stash.
be it.
Thanks, Cal.
Thank you. Dwarves, the most trusty when it comes to money.
Does anybody know how to clean a battle axe? I've got entrails all over mine.
Wipe
Do
it in the
not
snow.
have. You're wiping in the snow.
Oh,
If
Scarhand.
anything's broken, I can mend it.
Gonna hand the arrow to Sharja that he found inside a goblin, inside a kobold. I found this. I think it's yours.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Can we recover arrows after the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So the arrow that I fired. Do I need to roll something to get that back, or is it destroyed? Or is it?
No,
Can I just take
get
it back?
Just take it
Okay,
back. You're
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, now a couple of things. We're about to close up for the evening. So you successfully got through the first session, so congratulations. Malamak, you had to be nervous there for a second, but you got through, so well done.
Yeah.
Now, so you gather yourself together and check out your wounds and stuff. You realise that the first time for most of you, ventured outside of 10 towns, out into the wilderness. Some of this is familiar to you guys. You've seen all this before. Some of it is a new experience. But regardless, it does feel like very experiential. So much so that... Anybody know what I'm going to say?
Level up.
Level would be cool.
Experience.
Second level. So if you
Oh!
level up your characters to level 2. I
Oh.
tend to do this fairly quickly as level 1 characters are so squishy. I mean, a critical hit from a kobold could have literally killed one of you. So, less squishy at the moment.
Okay. How do we level up?
Okay, well, so on D&D Beyond, if you click to the extreme right, you'll see a thing looks like a hammer and anvil.
Mhm.
Yep.
Click on that, and this will bring up a screen. And you'll see, like, if you're a ranger, it'll say level 1 next to it.
Yep.
Change that to level 2. Oh, now, by the way, everybody's rolling for hit points. It's too bad.
Yeah, yep.
So let's start with Tarvin. Roll me a d10.
Oh, yes.
Roll me a d10.
Okay. Can you see that?
Let's come up on the tracker.
Maybe I'll go back to my Okay, now I'll try it from this page. Hang on. D10.
Oh, no, sorry. I see you can do it. You rolled a 10, didn't you?
I thought I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5?
Hang on.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
confused.
So, click on Manage Hit Points. The blue button.
Okay, 5. Right, manage. Oh, going back to that page, sorry. Onto that. Hammer and anvil. Okay.
Yep. Now click on Manage. So change your level to 2.
Yep, have.
Now click on Manage Hit Points.
Oh, it says I rolled 10 HP. I'm confused now.
Now, well, it's a 5. So put a 5
Yep.
in
That
there.
all,
Yep.
that all of us, Malcolm, is that me as well?
Yeah, you won't be a D10 though. You'll be a D8.
Okay.
Okay, I've changed it to 5 and then hit apply, I imagine. Is that right?
Yeah, but you also got your hit point modifier. You get a
Oh.
+4, so you get 5 plus 4 hit points.
Okay.
You get 9.
9. Yep.
Thanks, Joe.
Quick math.
Okay. Then once you're
Is that,
at level
Oh,
2 yeah.
sorry, you go on. Yep. I was just going to ask because I lost some HP in that battle. That doesn't, I don't get healed when you level up, right? That's not a thing
No.
in this. No, I
No.
didn't think so. Yeah.
You notice there's a fighting style you need to choose as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is all detailed in the player's handbook, which you all have access to. Tell you what, maybe if you struggle with it, we can just go over your character advancements next level. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think there's nothing else I have to do, is there?
What do you
Are
think?
we all?
Are you all?
So you were saying, Malcolm, that we
Okay.
have to roll for HP?
Yes.
Yeah. I think my one automatically did it. How do I make it not Oh, I see. +4 from Constitution. Oh, cancel. Let's take it back to 1. Confirm. View character sheet. So roll a D10, yeah?
Yep, that sounds right. Yep. So you rolled a
2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Takes him to 16.
Okay. Now, Leah.
Shall we
did you
all roll?
Yep, let's do
Oh, yeah,
Leah
cool.
next.
Leah.
Let's do Shajaya. So roll a d8.
So I'm in the manage hit points, and it's got rolled hit points 8, and then HP modifier. What goes in there?
Well, your HP modifier is... Am I looking at the right one? Let me just check. So your Constitution modifier is 2. Do you want me to roll it for you, Leah?
It's sorry, I I thought that you could look at this and it would do that at the same time.
Yeah, well...
Please.
Okay, so here you go. I take
Otherwise
no
we could-
responsibility for this.
Could be here for hours. Sorry.
But I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just help you with this character. So, so see what it says rolled hit points?
Yep.
Put a 3 in there.
Okay.
Put a hit point modifier 2.
Yep.
And add and click apply.
Okay, that gives me 9.
Okay. Now, Mike, you have to choose what special type of druid you are. And I think what
Okay.
we'll do is have a look at these over the course of the week and decide what
Oh,
particular
yes.
druid you are. And I'll send you the link.
Okay.
So I'll send that to you in Messenger. So this is often a choice, is what type of particular type of druid you want to be. So I sent you a link in Messenger. Click on
Okay.
that and have a look through the different circles and see which one sounds cool to you. And we'll work through
Right.
applying the rest of it in the next session.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions before we end for tonight?
No, thank you again,
Okay.
Malcolm.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers, Malcolm.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, so I'm still doing my HP, and I rolled an 8. Did that come up on your side?
This is for...
Me going up a level, because I didn't do any of that leveling up thing.
Still look as if you're on 12 hit points. Let's have a look at Malama.
Yeah, so I did a custom roll for 8. It didn't let me roll it, or...
Okay, let me get to your character first, just a sec.
Yeah, thank you.
This is for Maluma. Okay, so what did you roll? You rolled a...
I did roll an 8 on my D8, which is the best it could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're on 12 hit points at the moment.
Yeah.
What's your con modifier? Do you know?
I think it's +2. I think it's +2.
+2, so you should get 10 hit points back.
Yeah. And then
So this actually should be on 24 hit points. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so the easiest way to do it is just put on your override HP and type it in there. So
okay, so just write 24.
yeah, I've already done that, so you should be good.
Oh, okay. Oh, sweet. I've seen you do it.
It's 24. And you too
Alright.
need to choose a druid circle.
Yeah. I've been looking at it this week,
Oh, okay.
so I think I've got a few ideas. Cool. Thank you.
That's right, and just checking.
Yeah, cool.
So, Scar, what did you roll?
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2, and what's your
Ooh.
Constitution modifier?
+2.
+2, so you get 4 extra hit points.
Yay.
4 extra hit points, so we'll make sure you get that. So this should take you up to 20.
Oh no, sorry, I already did it. I was on 12.
Oh, so you're on 16, so that's good.
I did my maths as well. I've taken 2 down. I'm on 22, not 24.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, cool.
And you don't get a lot at level 2, Alibi, but next level you have to choose what oath you want to follow.
Yeah. It's just looking at the Warrior of Blessing or something like that for his fighting style.
Okay.
Thinking about it, I'm just having a look at the different.
Okay, well, you got all
Spell.
week to think about how
Yeah.
to level up.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Just so for me, for the hit points, I'm on D10, rolled a 5.
Okay.
My constitution's bonus is +4, so does that make an additional 9 to the original 14 I had? Does that sound right?
That does sound right.
Okay, well that would make me a 23. Thank you very much.
And did you make the adjustment to... Well, let's have a look.
So what's that look like there?
So who is this for? This is for Malamuk?
No, it's Cal.
No, this
Cal,
is
sorry, Cal. Well, Cal, I have your hit points at 23. Yeah, you're good.
Yep, sweet. Thank you.
Everybody's a little less squishy. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Obviously, if we've got any questions about leveling up, we can look at it next week. But
Thank you.
I need to bounce.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. It was lots of fun.
Thanks. Thank you for helping me and being patient.
No problem. That's what we do. Okay, take care, everyone, and we'll see you next